Hey, we are live. We got Papa Pete. We got our guest here, Barry from Premium Edition Games. How's it going, Barry?
Going great. Thanks so much for having me. It's always an absolute pleasure to talk with you guys. I look forward to always coming back.
That's awesome. Yeah, you guys just on Monday had a spring direct showing
Yes.
off all of your stuff. I have it, and what I'm going to do is we'll show here in a little bit. I'll have it playing off to the side, and we can just talk while it plays, and you can chime in on different things,
Yeah.
just so people can see it.
Yeah, it was a real labor of love. They always are, but this one's a beast.
This is your
This was
longest
a
one yet, isn't it?
yes, it was very long. But we had a lot to talk about. We wanted to keep it moving and all credit for the amazing direction went to Tristan, our video editor. He put it all together.
Okay.
He locked himself in a room for 4 days with my directions. It was fun. But now the whole team got together. These are always just a blast to put together and even better to show people because there was a lot of excitement, in the live chat. A lot of people were surprised by the reveals and even the stuff that we had previously shown off. A lot of people hadn't seen that, so they were seeing it for the first time, and just a lot of excitement. And we love to see that. We love to make people happy.
Well, I got some good news yesterday. My
Eagle Island Twist.
Eagle Island Twist has shipped. So
Nice. Did you
I
get the
think it's supposed
standard
to be
or the
here
retro?
Saturday. I think I got the standard, I believe.
The retros I almost sold out. Like I know that's a
That game looks
great game.
amazing.
It's two games in one too. It's Eagle Island and Eagle Island Twist. That's two completely different games.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. That's Pixel Nix and Retroware, and yeah, that was the first game we saw from Retroware that we're like, yeah, we want to do this. We reached out about, so we were really happy to be able to do that and bring that out. And that's one of the biggest joys of doing this is talking to developers and talking to publishers and making those connections and then being able to give these games that physical treatment because
Yeah.
a lot of companies don't want to do it, or it's kind of risky, especially in today's day and age, because there's this big pushback against physical where it's all digital this, digital that, and people still haven't realized the danger of digital only. Nothing wrong with digital and physical, but there's digital only stuff. There's so many games already lost.
That's right.
Movies lost,
Oh, yeah.
TV shows lost.
It's
I'm not
scary.
big on the digital. I like to have the digital if I have the physical.
Yeah,
But like you said, but I don't like to have all my eggs in that basket because that basket can be taken away anytime they just so decide to do so.
I have plenty of games, both ways, like double dip, just because sometimes digital comes out first, and I grab that. And if it's a game I absolutely love and a physical comes out later, I'll still grab it because I want that physical. What?
There are games I pre-order, even like Amazon or Best Buy, and they're delayed. They're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna get it to you tomorrow," or like Monday, and it comes out on a Friday. I'm like, I'm losing a whole weekend, so I'll buy it
Exactly.
digital just to at least play it that weekend and have that time, and then I'll get my physical copy.
One thing I really like that you guys do is you will hold a game until there's any bugs that are out there that get fixed or any DLC to get added to it. I'm glad you delay some titles because of that, because otherwise it's a cart that you have to download more stuff. And
we
so that's
absolutely
the best part.
try and make it as content complete as possible. And I have to say that just because if like someone found a new bug in like Robot Named Fight, for example, like tonight, and then Matt Bittner winds up patching it, like obviously then our cart will not contain that bug fix, but we
Right.
can't see that far into the future. So, we do our best. And so far, knock on wood, they're all complete on cart.
And before we show the video, Stuart just messaged me. He said he'll be there in a couple minutes.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the developer c.a.r.l, the single developer in Japan?
Yeah, well, they're a shmup, aren't they?
Yes, he does nothing but shooters. I don't know if you've ever looked at his stuff or thought about it, but he's got so many games now. I mean, you could like do a whole compilation of shooters.
You know what?
Really.
If you have a contact information, you send it my way. Maybe we can make something happen. If he doesn't speak English, it's going to be a fun conversation.
He can, but I don't think it's a strong suit.
Google
But
Translate for the win.
I talk with him on Twitter, so he definitely can speak English. So
Yeah.
um,
Hey, you want to do an introduction? That would be wonderful.
yeah, I'll do it. 'Cause his games are great. I mean, they're fantastic, and like I said, he's got so many now.
Yeah. Look, we're always looking for great games. We're always looking to help developers get their games physical. A lot of our games that we've done have come from fans that have said, "Hey, you should check this game out." Sometimes we've had fans connect that they're friends with the developer, and they'll connect. They'll send us an email, say, "Hi, I just want you to know my friend is so and so, and they're on this email, and we'd really love it if you took a look at this game. I have no cart in this race. I just want to help." And those are always humbling because it's like, hey, cool, maybe something can happen, and sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. But we're always open to testing any game and looking. We don't do 100 games a year. We go slowly. We want to, so we may have a game. We may say, this is going to be a year before we can get it out, because we are, getting approached by more and more as people discover who we are, and it's a good problem to have.
Yep.
And obviously we have some games that get delayed, which we had a delay announcement in this direct for a game, which I'll talk more about when we get that
Speaking of
far.
that, I'm gonna go ahead and pop it on. I thought we'll let it play really big on the
Yeah.
screen here, and we can just talk over it while it plays, and you can
Yeah, absolutely.
just add some commentary whenever you
Oh
feel
yeah.
like you want to do it. I'll turn it down a little bit so we're not.
Yeah. So this intro was done by Tristan. This was my idea. I came to him. We ever had a phone call. I said, did you ever go to you see all these like TV monitors? It's like all one thing. He's like, yeah. It's like, what if we did that? And we did it for all games. That's a brilliant idea. So
Yeah.
he put this together because I can't do shit, but I come up with ideas. He makes it happen, and I think it came out really well. I love the way it did. And that's something we always try and do at Premium is this Stu.
Sure. Yeah, this is this is the thumbnail. I waited till all the TVs got filled in.
Perfect. See,
like a screenshot.
He's like another one. But no, we try and honor where we came from, and I joke like eventually this is gonna get so long we're gonna have to do something to trim it down. but we really, we wouldn't exist without all of these developers on screen and these games on screen to give us a chance. So we don't want that to be forgotten.
Yeah.
Even if they're out of stock and there's no more printing, it's still where we came from. And if it gets the developers a little extra exposure, even 2-3 years down the road, 4 years down the road, fantastic.
Do all your games still have challenge cards?
Yes, all games still have challenge cards. Yep.
Excellent.
Welcome everyone to the
My son was watching this, and he goes, he was reading about one of the games, and he goes, "What's a challenge card?" I had explained to him about the Activision patches and all that stuff.
Well, that's because we're the only ones who do it, right? So
as far as I know, I haven't seen anyone do it since Activision.
No one's done it. It's exclusive. So we're like, all right, because it's we want to keep doing that going, and we're talking about doing some bonuses for like the dog tags, because all our games get pre-order dog tags.
Yeah.
So the first update here was Wife Quest. Wife Quest came out last year for pre-order, part of our spring, part of Series 6. The carts are in stock. We're just waiting for the last few printed material to arrive, so that we can assemble the game and ship it out. So it won't be too much longer. Wife Quest is phenomenal. I'm so happy we were able to do that game. And then Super Dungeon Maker, the other part of Series 6, which was a rare 2-game series. It was supposed to be 3, but Super Dungeon Maker, the developer asked us to put it up when it went digital, and we said okay, and they said, oh yeah, but we have updates coming, and we're like, that's gonna piss people off, but they said this is what we want. So we had to wait, and so the carts actually haven't even started production yet because they're still doing bug fixes. But they just did this big update that happened December, and they're doing bug fixes on this. And this added a bunch of stuff. It added, a bunch of new themes and enemies and bosses and the knight. We play as the chicken. That was one of the biggest complaints about the game is, why do I have to play as a chicken? So they added the knight, so you can play whichever you want. One of the other things they did that they don't really talk much about is when you boot up the game and you start to create a dungeon, the goal was a golden egg. You had to get to the golden egg, and it's on that floor. And you can make dungeons like 13 floors. but the egg was always on the starter floor. So you could go down and up, but you always had to end on that starter floor. Now with this update, you could actually move the egg to whatever floor you want.
Oh, neat.
You're not limited. So you can make a tower and put the egg in the top floor, or you can make it in the bottom. You can see a bunch of dungeon themes there and some of the new enemies that they've added. So that just creates new variety because now you can, spice it up a bit.
Well, this game's
they
pretty
will-
much endless with all the
It's
community levels you can play.
Yep. And
Mhm.
we petitioned for touchscreen on it, and they said they didn't do touchscreen because that would only affect the Switch version, not the Steam as well. So they opted to use that time to add more content for both versions of the game, but they actually refined creating dungeons on the Switch, and it plays world different. So if you played this
Wow.
game back in like March when it came out digitally, or April, whatever it was, and you tried to create a dungeon, it worked, but it was not the best. Now it's a whole new game.
Wow.
So thankfully, Julian or Fire Chick came on and did a little video for us and said, make sure you apologize. So it's not us, it's them. But yeah, they're still finding it's minor bugs at this point, but we're waiting for them to say that's it. There's nothing else, and then we get the actual.
At the end of the day, you're all better off for doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? What's the little delay at this? A video game delayed? I can't imagine it.
I think once this comes out, and I think this is gonna sell like crazy at cons because I don't think a lot of people have seen this game or heard about it, but we said, you know what, we want to make sure. So Series 7 just closed. C.a.r.l and Lonesome Village are about to enter production. And another delay, Sunshine Anthology. Fossil Games ran into quite errors getting Camp Sunshine on the Switch. Sunshine Manor is there. Camp Sunshine was built with older code, and the porting didn't go like they told us it would. So they have been slaving for the past half a year making it work and getting it to work properly. So they had an
Wow.
issue with the save and load system that's been patched, and they have a few more things to go. So hopefully within a few weeks we'll get the final okay that it's now on Switch. And then of course it has to launch on Switch, so we're going to give it a little time because when you launch a game, people will find new bugs and we want to get that bug patch. But also, if you did get the deluxe, there will be an extra delay only because those books are freight shipped. They take a little time. And then, of course, Series 5 is all in stock, like you mentioned, Eagle Eye and Twist earlier. But we did want to highlight that we did an exclusive variant of Raji with Shop Fill that's available right now. There's 1,500 copies. Comes with an exclusive slipcover and dog tag. So if you're a variant hunter, they're the only ones. Like we don't have them on our website. We don't have any in our warehouse. It's all shipping from them. I had to buy my own copy. They bought it all. There's nothing for us.
Wow. Yeah.
And then we have Jim and Dill 1 and 2. We talked about last time and showed that off. Those are up for pre-order right now on the NES, both the standard and silver, but the silver are really, really low.
And these are strictly run on the NES. This isn't a Switch game that looks like an
No.
NES. Okay.
These are NES games. These are NES carts. They come with challenge cards, manuals, and an NES box. So, if you enjoy collecting for the NES, if you like the aftermarket scene, then yes, this absolutely is an NES game, or two NES games, both from C.a.r.l Games and both fantastic. So, if you're an NES guy, that's one thing. We didn't have any new NES games this time, and we joked we probably should have saved Jim and Dill for this, but we weren't sure when they were going to come out. And I'm kind of glad we didn't because it would have been longer if we saved it. But the first game we talked about here was our tease. Last time we hit the button and a game played C.a.r.l from Morningstar Studios, which is Matt Bittner, and Nintendo. And C.a.r.l is phenomenal. It's an action platformer. It's like Mega Man. It's just a phenomenal game. And when we go on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Nintendo mentioned that they're adding more to this game, right? An update's coming.
Yeah. So what happened was when we signed it, we signed this game before it even launched because we're friends with Matt, who did Robot Named Fight. So they were like, yeah, let's work again together. And they told us, hey, we're going to be doing a free update. We said, well, let's wait for that update. and they told us they had a little delay. We were going to do this in the fall, and they had a delay. So we said we'll move you to spring. So we made the announcement, and they still hit another delay. So we operate for the developers. So we didn't crunch them. We didn't say no, you have no choice. I said to them, to Drew, I said, hey, do you want to move it to the summer? Do you want that extra few months? And he said that would be wonderful. So that was it. It was as simple as that. They moved to the summer, and he was nice enough to do an update video for us to explain the delay and show off everything you're seeing here has never been shown to anybody else. Like this was shown for the first time in our direct. So he was nice enough to do this to showcase some of the stuff that we're waiting on. And again, this is a free update, so if you already have the game digital, you get it. But our carts are going to have this entire update and everything on it, and all the bug fixes. And we're excited for it. So next time I'm here, we'll talk more Carl because it's tentative Series 9. I say that because if he hits another snag, we're gonna give him the time he needs. But it's tentative Series 9. Yeah, Drew is a sweetheart. Funny story. He was at Game On Expo the 2 weekends ago now, and he was sitting there and he was with Jeff and Tristan from our team. They were having dinner, and he's like, I gotta go. I gotta start working on this video for Barry because he needs it for the direct. And they started laughing. They're like, well, Tristan's like, I'm the one who puts it together, so it's not like I need it right this second. You're fine. And because I was like, I was poking him. I'm like, come on.
That Barry is making me work.
Yeah, I make a slave. Get that whip. We need this now. But we also teased another game last direct, which a lot of people didn't see. I think when I was here, we watched it together for the first time. I think you missed it too, because it premiered 3 days after, which was the game Gordian Quest.
Right.
And a lot of people missed it. I did a lot of podcasts, and they're like, "Oh, I missed that. I missed that." And we think a lot of people did. So we were able to show it off again now, as officially part of Series 8 and the first game of Series 8. This is an incredibly deep deck building RPG in the vein of Dungeons and Dragons. It's got over 700 cards. It's got over 800 actions. Each card can be upgraded 4 times, so you'll see like little dots under the card. Then the more dots, the higher it is, so you can increase its power. You still have standard equipment that you could buy in weapons, and some equipment will give you cards for your deck. Like you have this boot on, and it'll give you a special card. Sometimes that equipment will also enhance cards like that. Like it'll give you Magic Missile, and Magic Missile also does 3 more damage. So it's really cool. There's 10 heroes. You get to pick which one you want to start with, and then you recruit the others. Each hero has 4 decks to work with, and they're 4 different types of 4 different themes. So you pick one to start with, and then as you level up the skill tree, you can actually start grabbing cards from those other types and making a hybrid. Every character gets 3 attacks per turn unless you upgrade that further. So you could do chain combos and shields, and it's incredibly addicting, incredibly deep. It's like 30 hours long. If you like RPGs, if you like cards, do not sleep on this game.
Wow.
It is unbelievable.
Sounds like it's time to retire.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
We were joking with Tristan last night, like have fun writing the manual. Like here's the codex, and we're just like holding down on the Joy-Con, and it's just scrolling cards. And he's like, "Oh man," he joked. He said, "Barry, what I'm gonna do is the manual is just gonna have your phone number. If you need help, call Barry." I said, "Okay, I'm getting a new number. I'm redirecting it to yours." But no, so this is available right now. Gordian Quest. It was a drop that night. So we have the standard, and there's the retro. Still challenge card, like I said. It's just an absolute beautiful game, and we're so happy to finally be doing an RPG. It's not the standard turn-based. It has its own spin to it, but it is so unique. Another fun thing, because you asked me about, and this segment introduced it also, is a new team member, Jordan from Switchwatch. So if you've never seen Switchwatch channel, go to Switchwatch YouTube. He does fantastic videos. What a wonderful guy. So give him all the support, and we're happy that he's
a great channel, and he's Jordan makes some really good videos. He does stuff on a lot of stuff on shooters, a lot of stuff on imports, and he's got a he's got a really good sense of humor. He's a pretty funny guy too. So he makes good stuff.
That's one thing we lack on this channel is a good sense of humor, I think.
Yeah, so we pretty much
What do you
he wanted to make his own company, and we were like, hey, you know what? Why don't you join ours? You know, instead of starting from scratch, and you could do what you want. So he's been because he wanted to reach out to developers. I said, reach out to whomever you want. You know, let's talk to them, and you can use Premium's pedigree to help. So we'll see some more influence from Jordan as he goes on. One of the games he did test, but these games otherwise we had Gordian Quest for a while, and the other one we had for a while too. So this is a quick segment about conventions. Talked about Game On the other weekend. We did an exclusive variant for Game On. We did a Rain in Your Parade, which we show off here, and our teams are crazy. We're going to be at so many conventions. These are just some past ones. There's the variant. Game On we did all these ones here just this over the past 2 weeks.
Wow.
And then going forward, we've got a convention this weekend. Middle Tennessee Anime Convention this weekend. And all these dates, these are just for the next like 2 months. It's just March, April, May.
Wow.
And we did it that way. This way, it's not too far in advance. So if someone's watching and they want to come see us, or they're happen to be going to one of these conventions, come say hi. Midwest has the Wonderling DX exclusive variant that we're doing with that. Each of the variants are a different slipcover and an exclusive dog tag. So just really nice to be able to do these with conventions for variant hunters, but they're the same challenge card and everything inside. So yeah, like April 6th, I think April 13th was that. Yeah, 12th to 14th, and we're going all over. So please, if you're able to make any of these conventions, come say hi. Absolutely, come say hi, because we love to see you. We love to talk. That's my favorite part of conventions, just meeting everybody. It's one thing I miss. Since having a kid, I can't do the conventions like I used to.
But never feel too overwhelmed at anything like that? You ever?
Oh, the conventions are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Although the last time, so when we started doing the conventions, we would just be like, here's our games. We have 2 games, we have 4 games, we have 7 games or 6 games. Now doing a convention, it's just gonna be like, what's your favorite genre? Here's what I have. Like, I'm not gonna go through 20 games with every single person. It's just gonna be like, what's your favorite genre? Here's what we have for you. We're gonna need like a second laptop just for doing the trailers, because we have laptops and we play trailers. It's gonna be like, oh god, you missed the Mighty Fight Federation trailer. Oh, well, you're gonna have to wait 20 minutes to see it again, unless we have another laptop to quickly do it. But then we go into Kickstarters. Kickstarters have been really, really good for us. We've made some really good connections, and touching on Poglings. We did that series 5. We talked about that, and that was incredibly fun. Did well. It got almost 11 times its goal.
Wow.
Just done fantastic. So, Chad, who did Poglings, gave us an update video. So we're finally like, hey, cool, we can show people how it's going, and it looks great.
It is gorgeous.
Oh yeah, so this is like if Sega never stopped doing the Chow Garden from the Sonic Adventure games. So you get to raise Poglings, you can race them, you can do other activities with them, and they're like, I can't wait for the plushes of the Poglings. They're just so adorable, and there's so many of them. There's so many, and like this Kickstarter just did fantastic. And we will have a version. We did a Kickstarter exclusive, but we will have our own version on the website. It'll get part of a series, but only when it's done, just like Sunshine Anthology. So you won't see it there. Here's the races, showing some of the races you could do, and like Chow Garden had some races you could do too, but this, like, it's more in depth. There's a lot of different races, a lot of different tracks, different environments. Like I love it. I love just how varied he made this game, and the entire team.
where will the plush be available?
So there was a Kickstarter exclusive color, but
Mhm.
we will have other colors on our website
Okay.
when the game comes out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because like plush is a no-brainer with this. Like you just give it
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Yeah.
like there's so many different colors and they just look great. And yeah, this has a lot of some Animal Crossing stuff thrown in, a little inspiration from there, a little Zelda
Yeah,
inspiration.
the star in the sand.
Yep, the
Yes.
star in the sand, right from Animal Crossing. So we don't have a release date for this yet. This is still, it's still in development. So hopefully, little Breath of the Wild here with the hang glider, because why not? I like this where you have like the little treadmill. You can almost like Monster Rancher, if you remember that, where you can train your monster, do different activities. But yeah, it just looks incredible, and we're really happy that we get to work with Chad and his team to bring this out.
That's
so
awesome.
hopefully we have more to show next time. That all depends on what he has for us. Yeah, this is the end. This is where it shows. Because when he sold the game to us, he told us it was racing only. And you see left to the left is racing. But I'm like, oh, he's going to the right. What's this? So, like, they obviously wanted to expand, and they added sumo fighting.
Oh my God.
wow.
So the end, that's where it ends. It just teases it. So it's like so cool that they're adding in extra activities. And who knows, there could be more. I mean, I first saw the sumo when I saw that too. So I don't know. Maybe he's got 3 or 4 other activities that he just hasn't told us anyone about. So I'm for it.
So what are the Poglings exactly? Do we know? They're just a mysterious creature.
Yeah, that's all he told us.
Okay, because I have a little thing going on where I have this little new bonding thing that's going to be happening with the new one that's still to come.
Oh.
That'll be born in the year of the dragon, and I'm a dragon as well. And I was like, they're kind of dragony.
Yeah,
but-
they are.
So I just thought, well, that might be
Maybe
something.
I'll ask Chad next time.
Okay.
But now we're going on to Crystalla, which we talked about last time. Crystalla was a Kickstarter last summer.
Oh yeah.
This did well. This did over 11 times its asking goal, and we're doing the PlayStation 5 physical. And this is all new footage you're seeing here. The team's been hard at work. It's going early access, I think May. There's going to be a new demo. They were just at PAX East last weekend showing off the game. So Sarah recorded this video on Monday, like not this just like 2 days ago, but the Monday before that, as she was ready to leave for PAX East. I was like, thanks. Hey, I told you about this a month ago, but she's been so busy, the whole team, like, so she was
Yeah.
finally able to do that for us, and I was like, oh, like the game looks so much better, and it looked great when we first did the Kickstarter, and it's just really been improved. So
It's
they also
gorgeous.
follow up with a brand new trailer for the early access. They said, oh, we have a new trailer as well. I said, oh, you give it to us, give us, we'll throw it in, because a lot of people haven't seen this game, and that's, like I said, they were at PAX East showing it off. And if you are interested in the physical for this, we do have a backer kit open with them where you can support and get the physical, and you can get other goodies. So we do have the QR code after this trailer for the backer kit. Definitely show them support. I mean, if you like action adventure, if you like Souls-like games, if you like cats,
Right.
This is. I mean, you can see how much
Did you hear that?
improved it is. Yeah, Pete.
Coco's like, wait, what?
He's right.
Why isn't
her up.
Coco pick up a sword? Let's go.
Coco with a sword.
She's certainly drawn enough blood sitting here at different times, but she reaches out and grabs me.
I smell a new Go Game Go starter video.
I feel like there should be some DLC with a Coco character.
There you go.
Actually,
lightsaber.
that was one of the stretch goals that they hit, where you can design your character to look like your cat. So you can actually, if you have a cat, you can make your character. You can see a bunch of different characters there, but you can make it look like your cat.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, there's familiars, there's pets you get, and what my favorite thing is the mounts in this game are dogs. So you get to be a cat riding a dog. I just think that's so cool. They're just giant dogs. But yeah, the more I see this game, it just gets better and better and better. So we're excited to do it. But again, it won't go on our website until the game is done. We want it to be absolutely finished. But if you're interested in the game, you could back our kit. You play the early access this May. You could wish list it on Steam to support, and then of course there's a new demo coming, probably within a week or so. I think it was the PAX East demo they were showing off, so you can try it there too.
I see it's
And
coming
it's
to everything, but premium
Yeah.
edition is. Oh, you're doing PS5. Okay.
We're doing PS5. We are tentatively doing Switch. We we haven't signed on for Switch yet because we want to see how it runs on the Switch. And they
Mhm.
didn't ask us to do the Switch because they didn't want to give us a game and then it runs terribly on the Switch, and now we're like, oh well, we're sorry we gave you that.
But
So
the
we're just
box looks
waiting.
nice.
Oh, the box looks great. That's the Kickstarter exclusive. But now we're talking about another Kickstarter that's going on live right now, and it's ending in a week, and that's Godshard Chronicles. And this game stole my heart.
Is this the
Like,
pixel? A lot of good pixel art in this game. Is that the one?
yes,
Okay. Yeah,
this
this one
this
looks really
game,
good.
this is an action RPG that's
Oh,
like
it's like
Secret of
Mana,
Mana.
right?
Yep,
Okay.
like
Yeah,
Secret of
yeah.
Mana, like inspirations of
Yeah,
Zelda
look at
and
that artwork,
Lunar.
man.
The artwork is
Wow.
amazingly beautiful, and the music. This song makes me cry every time I hear it.
Oh,
The music is done by the composer of Lunar and Grandia and Ace Attorney, and there's a bunch of different guest composers and scenario writers from games like Wild Arms, Final Fantasy XI, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, Lunar Silver Star Story. Just a huge pedigree. Even like this is the Japanese version, and they hit the stretch goal to have the English versions are going to be done by the artist who did the English Lunar vocals. Just an amazing RPG pedigree. If you know who's who of RPGs. So if you love RPGs, if you love action adventure, do not sleep on this game. There's the Kickstarter is available right now. Like I said, we're close. We just hit the new game plus and hard mode um, levels of stretch goal. We're close to the 200,000 mark, which it's already over 300% funded. But if we hit the 200,000 mark, we get to play as the dog. And I want everybody to be able to play as a dog. Come on, we have the cats. Now we got to get the dog.
that's right.
And it's voice acted too. John Truitt did Galleon from Lunar, and he's back. And just it's an incredible voice cast. Yeah, the hand drawn animated cutscenes. Like there's so much love in this game. I can't stop singing its praise. And Elman is a phenomenal guy. Like what a real gem of a human being.
Wow.
And we're so happy to be working. And look, there's the dog right there. Come on, we need to be like
Oh
the
yeah.
dog.
There he
It's
is.
right there. So yeah, the campaign is live now. We will show the address and stuff on screen shortly, but do not sleep on this game. There might be, I think there's a backer kit going, but backer kit doesn't affect the stretch goals. There's also community stretch goals for this game involving wish listing on Steam and joining their Discord and following them on Twitter and stuff like that. All stuff that's 100% free, and that's unlocking bonus content to the game. So just by doing those things, you're actually helping the game get better. So and there's Elman right there, and these guys are just so passionate, and you can tell they're a little nervous, but they're just like this is their dream. They're making it happen, and we're just happy to be along for the ride to be
Right
able to
on.
make it happen with them. I don't know if have you guys backed this yet?
No,
No.
no, I didn't know
Oh,
about it until yesterday. I was watching.
really? See, and that's why we do the directs because yeah, it has like over 2,000 backers, I think, and it's one of those you didn't know, and it's like, hey, that's why we do these. We want people to see this. We want people to get to give them exposure. We've been tweeting it out. We've been showing it off. We want to give everybody the opportunity because we know what happens. It happens all the time when you do any type of pre-order or Kickstarter. You close down and it ends, and then you get the inevitable email or 2 or 8. Oh, I missed it. Is there any chance, any way I could still get it?
You're right.
Happens all the time,
Sure.
like clockwork with anything.
I've had that happen to me a lot with Kickstarter, where I don't even hear about a Kickstarter until there's an article about how it just ended and it was successful. I was like, oh shoot, I didn't even know about it.
Yeah,
Darn
and
it.
then you email and say, "Is there any way I could back this?"
No.
So we want to try. That's why we do this in the direct and we put our Kickstarters there, is because we want to give them that space so that hopefully we can help show the games to more and more people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We don't want anyone to miss it, and that's why we also do the updates, especially with backer kits, because again, if this is your first premium direct you're watching, maybe you missed Cristalla. Well, now you could back it still. You could do the backer kit. You can
Yep.
still support the team,
Yeah.
and you don't miss
Yeah.
out.
See, that's what I'm looking for right now. I'm like, I need to find that because I love the
And
look of that game. I love
Barry,
it.
this is called God Chronicles. Is that
God Shard
the one?
Chronicles, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Cristalla, you can get the backer kit. If you miss the QR code that we displayed on screen, you can go to Google and just type in Cristalla backer kit,
Okay.
and you'll find it. But again, we do have the QR code on the thing, and I think in the show notes we have the web address as well. But yeah, it's absolutely worth supporting because it's such a phenomenal game. And Astro Clock Tower Studios, they are just some of the nicest people I've ever met.
Wow.
They are humble, they are appreciative, and I'll say it, Elman here and JCat Games Limited, same thing. They're just so humble, so appreciative. And the next one we show off, the same thing. I'm noticing this more and more.
Hmm.
And one of my favorite things that has happened post this direct, we had everyone was watching. Like Elman was in there. The next game we show off was in there too, and Elman put out an update shortly after, and if you ever see a Kickstarter update on the bottom, it actually says, like here's another Kickstarter we like.
Yeah.
They did that for the next game we show off. They're like, hey, we're gonna do
Wow.
that, and we're gonna toss it to another premium edition game, and vice versa. The next Kickstarter we're gonna talk about here in a second, did the same thing for Godchard. And I'm like, I love to see that. I didn't ask them. We didn't ask them to do that. They're not required to do that. They chose to do that on their own. And to me, that is so nice to see. It's not competition. And these two
Right.
Kickstarters are going along the same time. They're literally, you know, competing in a sense, but they're also not competing. And I love that they don't look at each other as competition and they're just working together. And that to me is telling,
Yeah.
just of developers. It's like,
Yeah.
oh no, we're not going to be competitive, and we don't play favorites. We support everybody. So there's the QR code. So if you have your phone, you can actually click that and go
Yeah,
to it.
there you
The
go.
the web address is also on the bottom there. That way you can support. We do that on purpose. We want people to go. We want people to get it. And this
Mhm.
one ends April 2nd. So you have
Wow.
just under a week. It started February 29th. So how you paused it? You're going to use the QR code right now, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I've just paused in case someone's getting their phone out. I figured they could just
No time
Yeah.
like the present.
No time like the present. See that we even do that because sometimes like the Kickstarter link on the bottom, you can see .com/project/gotcha. It's like, oh, that's a lot to type. If you modern technology, you could just go and do it.
campaign ends soon, April 2nd.
Yeah, April
Yeah.
2nd. So it's very close. But when one Kickstarter ends, another begins. And Atomic Owl has just started yesterday. It's at about 20,000 out of a 33,000 goal. And Atomic Owl is.
Oh, this looks cool.
That
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that.
Holy smokes, this looks nice.
This is an action platformer roguelike. Eldar there is such an awesome guy. He worked on games like Borderlands before, and now he's struck out solo. This is what he's working on. This is every time I see this game, I'm so hooked. I'm so like ready for it.
Yeah.
Demo's coming soon. I haven't played it yet. When we signed it just on the looks of it, we're like, yeah, live the story. I mean, you have a demonic blade that talks to you. It's a chatty blade, and it changes. There's different weapon types, and I love the cyberpunk style visuals. It's
Yeah.
the pixel art. The combat is so fast and fluid. It, you know,
Wow.
it's just
Oh!
awesome. Yeah, little Sonic reference there. He calls it the roguelike Sonic the Hedgehog. But it's like a standard roguelike in the sense of, when you die, you go back, but you're stronger. So
Yep.
here's like the different weapon types. Your sword turns into like a whip, and then it turns into other weapon types. There's the hammer, a great sword. It's really cool. And there's these like wing power ups. So like you can augment yourself even further. I believe there's 2 playable characters right now. One is apparently a spoiler, and there's a third one is a stretch goal. So you can see a little behind the scenes on how they design the backgrounds and stuff. I love that they showed this. As someone who can't make games, it's nice to see.
I
And the
can't do
soundtrack.
that, but if I could.
Exactly. And all these games have one thing in common too. They all have a fantastic soundtrack, and this is like a techno soundtrack, and just so cool. Like I love the sound. I love that he got the composer here to talk a little bit. Fun thing is we asked the developers for trailers naturally for this, and he's like, "Well, there's an existing trailer, but that's old footage, so we're doing a Kickstarter trailer." I said, "Okay, give us the Kickstarter trailer," and then he recorded a video talking about working with us and about why people should play. Just like everybody else, we have the developer video, and then we got this for Kickstarter, and we said, "Oh man, we can't do both of these videos because it's a lot of the repeat of what's said here. It's going to be redundant." So we wound up not using that video at all. But we might release it as like advertising, just because he recorded it and it's funny. And I actually had to cut some of my script out because I had jokes regarding his video, like playing off his video. I'm like, "Oh, we can't use those now. They don't make sense." And it was already recorded, so like we had to edit stuff out. I was like, "Oh man." So we might release the video later on. But yeah, this goes for a month. Like I said, it was at last I checked, it was on 20,000 out of a 33,000 goal in less than a day and a half.
Wow.
So it's doing extremely well. You can wish list it on Steam as well. Show the support, but if you want the Kickstarter exclusive covers, now's the time to do it. We also again we'll put the link here in just a second, and a QR code again if you want to go, or you can Google Atomic Owl. But absolutely support these guys. It's so cool. Like I said, it started the day after the direct, so it started Tuesday, and yeah, I want to see this hit a lot of stretch goals. A lot of people wait until a project is funded before they want to jump in there and fund. I don't know if they're intimidated. I don't know why, because if a project doesn't get funded, you get your money back anyway. But this is your chance to make the game better. You could buy the game when it comes out and it's done, but that doesn't necessarily make it better. This Kickstarters actually make it better. So these are all our Kickstarters. We wanted to thank everybody and just appreciate everybody that worked with us. So now we jump into the next Switch Series 8 title, and we have Jordan come back here, and we have Phil. Oh, Phil went up. Who's been a great team member, and they played off each other really well. It was fun to hear them. And this is a game we've had for a while. We've been just waiting for the time to bring it out. It was another Kickstarter game. We were not part of the Kickstarter, and it was a Wii U game that is now gone because the Wii U, you can't download it anymore. But they ported it to Switch, so this is the Switch version, and it's awesome. This is Tadpole Treble Encore. This is a rhythm. This is all you do. This is a rhythm platforming game. This is a musical based game.
Wow.
You're literally on the scale. You are swimming down the scale, dodging notes and collecting, and you can make your own music in this game.
Wow, yeah.
You can make your own levels based on the music, Mario Paint style, and then play through it and stuff. So like this is all you. But yeah, it got critical acclaim. It did successful on the Kickstarter, and when they brought it to Switch, they added a bunch of stuff. And there's like 8-bit style levels where it's like chiptune music. and it gets hard. Like here, you're seeing it always swimming to the left, to the right. Some levels go backwards. There's a whole campaign. It's so cool. I know the people who created this, the brothers have such a good sense of humor. Obviously, they're singing the entire trailer, but they do their developer video here, and we were all in tears laughing at them because they could have just come on and just been like, "Hi, here's who we are,"
Mhm.
you know, check out the game. Then they do a whole bit comedy. The entire thing is a bit comedy, and I'm like, I love you guys. Like, it's so cool that they're just like, we're gonna play this up, you know, like, and they're so passionate. And again, this game was made by both of them. It's two people team, so you know,
I was
it,
gonna bring this one up. Watch it earlier today. This when these guys come on and grab my attention, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like, really, okay, it just stopped to watch because they're so funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so happy when they made this video for us. I was like, oh my God, you guys went above and you didn't have to go this hard. Like, you really didn't have to, but you did, and I love that you did, and
Yeah.
we're here for it. I love the manuals, like an NES style manual.
Super Mario Duck Hunt manual.
Yep.
I love that the dog goes back and forth.
Yeah.
Exactly. Every time they go back, he's in the other one.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
almost just put my dog on the screen. She kind of reminds me of that dog.
Yeah, they have some fun, and then of course they play into the dog here too at the end.
They should have had the pipe going back and forth too, and then end up in the dog's mouth.
So the little fun
That
fact.
was really cool.
It is great. So that's coming in 2 weeks. It's going up, but you can do the mega packs. We have the mega packs now where you can buy it all. Just an incredible game. It's so yeah, there is your dog. It's so yeah. That wow. Look at that. Did you take that dog from them?
No,
There's a 4D experience here.
Or somehow we wasn't on the screen at the same time. Coincidence?
Exactly.
I don't think so.
But yeah, so this is just one of those titles where I think people might look at it and go, "That's different," and then when they play it, they're like, "Oh, I understand. This makes sense." And it's just a fun game. So if you haven't played this, I implore you to try it. And you know, Stu is as a music lover,
yeah,
you know,
buddy.
you know, I want to hear you make some really cool songs.
I should do that. I should
Yeah.
record them.
Yeah. You could do your own songs. You could do recreations. The more difficult the song, the harder the level. And some of these levels get intense. Like this is not an easy game. You know.
Oh
this is-
yeah. Some of those, even when it came to get, like Guitar Hero and all those, I never was very good.
So are the songs on here all original songs? Or
Yes.
is it- Okay.
Every level has a different song. It's an entirely original song
Wow.
for every level.
Did the
they
brothers make
compose-
those? Did they make
Yeah.
the music too?
Yeah, they did
Oh, wow.
everything. I believe they're just incredible. So they're very, very talented. So we're happy to be bringing that as part of Series 8. And then we hit the final Series 8 game, which is a genre that kind of came out of nowhere. It literally almost overnight. And we looked at the success and we're like, oh man, that would be kind of cool. And then this genre got popular. You know how they say like roguelike got because it got popular because of the game Rogue and Metroidvania because it was popular by Metroid and Castlevania. This is for the genre of like Vampire Survivors, which got popular because of Vampire Survivors. And this game takes everything Vampire Survivors did and does and blows it out of the water.
Wow.
Completely. This game is a game called Scarlet Tower, and it is incredibly in-depth, incredibly addicting. Definitely, one more time, multiple heroes, multiple builds, just and very Castlevania art style. If you like Castlevania, it's a Castlevania-inspired art style. Just an incredible soundtrack, and this actually is launching on Switch shortly. It's in lot check, but we couldn't put the Steam version down, and we're like, yeah, we need to do this game. And this game took the spot of c.a.r.l. When c.a.r.l got moved, you know, I talked with Douglas of Frixia, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to get your game in Series 7 or Series 8?" And they're like, "Yeah, let's do it." So we're happy to be bringing this out. This is an incredibly addicting experience. And if you've never played Vampire Survivors, it's it's an RPG where you need to survive, and all your moves go off automatically. So it's about dodging and being strategic, and yeah, like I don't know if you've played those type of games or have tried it before, but I
Yeah, I've
implore
played
you to.
Vampire Savers.
How do you like Vampire Survivors? You
Yeah,
like it?
I'm sorry, Survivor. Yeah, yeah, it's a fun
Yeah.
game.
Then you'll love
You,
this.
you keep going back. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, and you'll absolutely love this then, because this is even more in depth. I'm sure you're getting those vibes just watching this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're really happy to be bringing this out and to get something in that genre, because again, it's a brand new genre. I'm like, cool, we can say we have one, and I enjoy this game more than Vampire Survivors, and I'm not saying that because we're publishing it. I mean, I'm saying that's why we're publishing it. Yeah, I love. He asked me, "Can we put Steam reviews?" I said, "Put Steam reviews. It's okay." Show the reviews. I mean, over 90 hours, people, and I love the art. It's just so gothic. It's so Castlevania. So this goes up in 4 weeks on our website, but again, it's part of the mega pack, so you can grab it all tonight. And I love the retro box, like the tower, like looking up at the tower, and I love the soundtrack with character playing the piano by moonlight. It just looks so cool. So yeah, April 22nd. Absolutely recommend this game. I love even the cutscenes. It's just the pixel art. So yeah, that's our Series 8. It's Scarlet Tower, it's Gordian Quest, and it's Tadpole Treble Encore. We got an RPG, we got a Vampire Survivor style game, and we got a rhythm platformer. Nice diverse grouping again, and hopefully
Varying
something.
genres.
Yeah, we like to vary genres.
Great. That's
We
great.
started
Sounds
off
really great.
and we were like, you're just doing Metroidvanias, and we had Phenotopia, and we had Robot Named Fight, and we had Cathedral really early.
Yeah.
And we still have more Metroidvanias coming, but we're like, we don't want to be just one genre company. We want
Right.
to diversify, at least get something for everybody. And we didn't have an RPG. That's the kicker. Like this is a Series 8, and we're finally getting an RPG in there, between God Chronicles, Scarlet Tower, and Gordian Quest. And all three of those RPGs are very different RPGs. They're RPGs in name only. This is a survivor RPG. Godchart is a deck building RPG. Godchart Chronicles is an action RPG. None of them are traditional turn-based RPGs. So it's kind of fun. So we finally come to the conclusion where we wanted to give just an update on everything, and we're really excited to even get here where we at this point. And this script for this section was actually written like right before recording, because we're like, oh, we were waiting to try and get, what should our one more thing be, and we were trying to decide, and I wanted to wait to know. But there's everybody that we're working with. I love that image, just how many people have given us a shot. But yeah, we were like, what should our one more thing be, and should we have a one more thing?
That's gotten busier and busier every time, every
Oh
series.
yeah,
Right?
that and it's going to keep growing, and we want it
Yeah.
to, But we so doing the recap here, Greg said Gordian Quest is available now. Definitely give it a shot. Tadpole Treble and Scarlet Tower are coming soon, and you can get the mega pack, which we'll mention here in a bit. And the Kickstarters, absolutely. Godchart Chronicles, do it, support it before it ends. Atomic Owl, same thing. Crystalla, the backer kit, make sure you get that Kickstarter exclusive PS5 copy, and you can wishlist all 4 games on Steam. It shows the support. You don't have to buy it on Steam, but at least wishlist it. Conventions again. definitely, if you were able to make it out, come see us. Come say hi. Come say you saw us on Go Game Go.
Go game go.
I
Let us
did that at
know.
PRGE. I was talking to who? Was it
Tristan?
Tristan? I
Yeah.
think I was talking to
Yeah, Tristan.
before it opened. Actually, I was during the setup day, so that was
Yeah.
neat to see.
Well, Tristan's the one who put this together, did the
you
editing.
go.
So you know him. Tristan's a fantastic guy.
Right on.
Yeah, I remember watching your video last time you were talking about
Oh
that.
yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
you showed the video. We actually played it during the episode I was on.
Oh, okay.
But,
Right.
but yeah, in stock, you talk about getting Eagle Eye and Twist earlier. We have a
Yep.
ton of in stock games still. Running low on like Robot Named Fight. I think we have less than 200 left. Cathedral, we have less than 200 left. Don't sleep on them or the NES titles. You know, absolutely trying to get them. And you know, of course, we have our books too. You know, you mentioned Tristan wrote Console Collector's Field Guide, and Jeff wrote the Switch Collector. We have those on our website too. So, absolutely ton of stuff. Website's gotten busier and busier. But then we have this thing that's haunted me since I introduced it in the third series. That I always have to figure out how I'm going to write the hype button and how I'm going to write pushing the button, which gets increasingly more difficult because I try not to reuse ideas. But this time I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna let Jeff push it. I'm just gonna be like, just do it. You know, like let's not. People, it's already 50 minutes into this thing. Let's just do it. And we're so honored to be bringing Curse Crackers out physically. If you've never heard of this game, you're not alone. Most people have not, and it is absolutely incredible. Like a complete retro Game Boy Color style action platformer with a beautiful soundtrack.
Yeah, I love the look of this game.
You're getting Eagle Eye and Twist. Eagle Eye, you involve platforming and throwing your owl buddy around, and this is the same thing. You throw Bell, your companion, around to attack enemies, but you also can use it for platforming. You can throw it downwards to get your up. You can feed it items to make it grow. Like right here, you'll see she throws it down and it gives you a higher jump. There's RPG elements. There's like side quests and stuff. There's a bunch of different characters to talk to and tons of worlds to explore. Like Wife Quest, you got to save your boyfriend. Though in Wife Quest, it was you got to save your husband. Tons of different power-ups, bosses. It's incredible. And everything is like really unique. Like they're brilliant, like the way you have to do the bosses. And it's addicting. It's and you get to pet the puppy. I mean, come on, you got to be a puppy. You got it. So I don't know if you've ever heard of this game before. Like I said, most people haven't, and those that have are so excited.
Well, I saw this yesterday. I looked it up on the Switch. I was like, oh, it's been on there for a little while. I was like,
yeah,
I don't know how I miss it. Cause I get a ton of Switch games, and somehow that one's still passed me by.
Yeah,
looks great.
It passed a lot of people by. Unfortunately, this is another one of those games that it came out with like 19, 20 other games, and it just sunk, and no one saw it. It did not trend, and it's a crying shame because it is a phenomenal game. So Color Grave are just some of the sweetest people as well. We love working with these developers. They're great. The illustrator put this little video together, which I love. They didn't have to do this. They didn't have to go this hard, but they did, and we're appreciative of it. So we get to show it off. But this is coming next series. This is a tease. So this will be another summer series game.
Yep.
And absolutely give them some love. You know, Color Grave is a wonderful team, and like you said, it's been there for a while, and so few people have even seen it or heard of it, and it's incredible, and it's so unique. You don't really you see like the NES style emulated, and you see even original Game Boy style emulated, but you don't often see Game Boy Color emulated. Like with that limited palette. But it works and it flows, and of course with the Switch, it's a bigger screen and it higher frame rates, more buttons. And then of course we plug our social media at the end, of course, and our mailing list. Mailing list is so important. Talk about missing things all the time. Like you won't miss anything. Sign up. It's super easy. You don't have to read every email, but this way at least you don't miss out. But yeah. That was a a hell of a production. 52 plus minutes worth of craziness. And I've probably seen that direct at least 10 times at this point.
So Barry, how for these games that are on Kickstarter?
Yeah.
How do you go about getting that? Can you go through your website as well as Kickstarter, or do you have to just go through Kickstarter?
No, right now you can only go through Kickstarter. So you're directly supporting the developer by doing that. It's not only putting money in their pocket, it's like immediately. It's also helping get the game funded. It's helping it reach the stretch goals. The more stretch goals, obviously, the better product at the end of the day. And we want to make each of these games and help each of these games be the best it can be. I mean, who wouldn't want them to be the best it could be? So to reward everybody, the Switch versions have the Kickstarter exclusive slipcovers, and the PlayStation have the exclusive inlays. It's our way of saying, you know what, if you're a collector and you're going to help them out, then you can go ahead and do that. Plus, there's other perks. I mean, you get your name in the credits, and other bonus items that they choose to throw in, which is awesome. But then when the game is done, like we did with Sunshine Anthology, we'll put the game on our webpage for pre-order as part of a series, and then you could purchase it that way as well.
I noticed one of the what do you call it, the levels there was to get the retro edition of the Switch one from Premium Edition Games, right on the Kickstarter. Correct?
Oh, so God.c.a.r.l Chronicles actually does have a retro on the Kickstarter. So you could the God.c.a.r.l you can get the standard or the retro, and the retro will have the Kickstarter exclusive version inside. The retro will also be on our webpage.
Gotcha.
When the game comes out, Atomic Owl, it's just the standard.
Oh, I see.
But we'll have a retro later on. But again, it's to support the developers. You get the ability to get the slipcover, and we put the retro with God.c.a.r.l because it comes with the soundtrack. It's a 2-disc soundtrack, and that soundtrack with those composers. We weren't originally going to do it, and Elman's like, people are going to want that soundtrack. And we're like, all right, you know what? I hear you. That's a RPG pedigree. Let's let them get the soundtrack. So so you can get the soundtrack that way. Just truly phenomenal games by Kickstarter, and this is just the start of 2024. That's the truth. We already see 2 games that we're bringing this summer. There's more, and those games are c.a.r.l and Curse Crackers, 2 incredible games. We've got more games planned for the summer and for the fall. We've got more Kickstarters we're in talks with for this year, besides just God.c.a.r.l Chronicles and Atomic Owl. It's going to be a busy year, and every year is getting busier and busier, and it's all in the best possible way. And convention schedule doesn't lessen up either, and more conventions now, it seems.
Yeah, Jeff, did we just have our junior one here?
Junior one was this past Saturday, but the main Mo Game Con is usually late July.
Yeah. And you went this past Saturday?
Yeah, we went. It was the same place as last year, just way less with vendors, which was nice because the regular con last year was so packed. It was like Mardi Gras trying to walk the streets, man.
It was bad.
It was bad. Man. Yeah, there's too many people.
They could have set it up a little differently. That was the deal too, is to get traffic, because I'm standing there in the middle of an aisle just having to wait.
Yeah, to move.
And that's nobody's fault, but just it's terrible when you're looking through all these games and you're sitting there going, I feel terrible standing here looking at all these games. I have to examine the whole thing, but
Didn't they have a late venue change for that one too, that sort of put them in that predicament?
Yep.
Yeah. That's too bad.
The venue backed out on them in like 2 months before. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. They should have taken
those poor guys.
They should have taken some of the celebrities and put them in the one showroom and then split it up. So you had your game with some vendors, and then you'd have your celebrities with some vendors, instead of just all the vendors over here. And then you have this room taken up by, gameplay, a game, celebrities, it just, yeah. But who am I? I'm just the guy that yells at
organizer of Mo Game Con.
I'm just, maybe they need to call me.
There you go.
What do you think about this? No.
No.
I was happy.
Let me remind you of a phone call I made to Amazon, and we'll talk.
I grabbed the black Dreamcast, so I'm all excited.
Oh, the
There you
sports
go.
one,
really?
nice.
Yeah,
Sega Sports.
cool.
Wow.
Sega Sports.
That's nice. Yeah, I don't think I have that one yet.
If there's one more retro system I want, that would be it.
That particular model, or just the Dreamcast? In
Just the
general?
Dreamcast. It's not a big thing to me color wise. Just
Well, there's my original one right
What-
there.
yeah,
Boop, boop,
what-
boop.
oh
Yep.
man,
There it is.
What a great system.
we had
Such
such
the
fun
worst
on that.
controller.
Yeah. House of the Dead. That's what I want. I'd like to get the Dreamcast and the House of the Dead. That's
You know they did House of the Dead remake. It's on Switch and PlayStation and everything.
yeah.
Probably better on Switch than PlayStation though, because you can use the Joy-Cons. Let's simulate the light gun.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, yeah.
It didn't work all that well.
Oh, it didn't?
No.
Oh, I haven't played it.
I was very disappointed when I got it. I don't know. It didn't work as well as say a Wiimote.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
we that had the IR sensor. That's why
You
versus
had to
the
keep
gyro.
calibrating it and is
But
that's-
did it
I don't
work with
know
the
if they-
controller too?
You could use a controller if you wanted to. But
Okay.
I wanted to use that Joy-Con like a Wiimote, and
yeah.
it worked, but it wasn't as good as a Wiimote, and it certainly wasn't as good as a light gun.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be better than just using the controller. So at least you have the option with Switch.
Yeah.
Well,
you
and-
do have the option.
Now you've got me thinking that maybe I need to get back into my Switch version of Re4 and you try the Joy-Cons, because I kicked ass on the Wii. Not at first. At first I thought I wasted $30 getting a ported game to the Wii. I'm like, oh dude, just stop.
It played well though on the Wii with the
It really did once I got good at it, but I got into that. I've said it before on here. I got into that third level with the rope bridges in the mining area, and I died. It was, I said I wasted it. I'm not going to pass this level. I wasted my money.
At least you got past the first chainsaw guy in the village.
Yeah, well, I mean, eventually I got the right hand of God. I mean, it was.
And I think that's one of the toughest first areas in a video game, just to throw you into that situation.
Yeah. And you have to keep track of all your, bang, 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 bang. Well, stop freaking out because you don't have any bullets left.
Yeah.
So, it's,
because you go into that like I need to kill and you just have to survive.
Yeah, when you first start that game, you're like, and you're like, okay, I got no bullets left. You just want to take the gun and throw it at him.
Take that, chainsaw man.
You stupid chainsaw guy. Okay, well, maybe not. Oh man, but yeah, fun game though. But I got it, but I got it for the Switch. But with my Pro controller, I wasn't worth a damn. So, but
you gotta try the Joy-Cons.
Right.
Again, it uses gyro, so it's not as precise as the Wii.
Right. Yeah, I just felt really sticky. I was like, I was in like slow motion trying to kill things. I'm like, no. Nothing worse than being in slow-mo when you're attacked. Made me feel like the old man that I am, maybe.
Oh. That's when you play another game.
We do it in slow motion nowadays.
That chainsaw came at me in slow motion. I watched the blade slowly spinning at my head.
Groovy.
My iris grew as it got closer.
Slowly, I turned inch by inch.
Look at Coco's face. She's out cold.
Coco is very comfortable and
okay,
happy.
I'm sorry. I have to do this. Look at that.
Yeah, very comfortable and happy. Coco's like, there's the paw. There's the paw.
I haven't seen a bitch please moment like that in a long time, Pete.
It was a friendly paw, at least.
Look at her. Just bring it over here, old man.
Come here. I'll smack you. Those claws are coming out.
Listen, I wasn't kidding earlier when I talked about the occasional blood there all of a sudden.
Coco wants you now.
She's like,
You
no, right
disturbed
here.
us.
Put it right
You
here.
disturbed
Go back
me.
to sleep.
You disturbed me. Coco, go play Cristalla.
Oh man, dude, why'd you say that? That's the game that I'm really excited about.
Well, that's why I said it.
I really need to get a copy of that.
You should. You should absolutely support them. They, like I said,
Yeah, I would love
they're
to.
phenomenal. Yeah, like I said, the backer kit is available right now, and early access is coming, in just 2 months.
Cool.
And really excited to see how they're improved, because it's going to be early access for a while on Steam before they bring it to consoles. So when we do our physical, it's going to be complete. It's all this additional stuff, and they hit every stretch goal. Like we helped them hit every stretch goal on their Kickstarter. So that's awesome, because that makes the game the best it can be.
What was the biggest stretch goal?
The
Do you
final
remember?
stretch goal?
Yeah.
I can tell you in a second. I have to Google it. Let's see.
That's pretty good to hit all of them.
That doesn't happen very often, does it really?
No, it doesn't. And in fact, they actually put the last stretch goal before they went to bed, and they're like, all right, we're not going to hit this, like whatever. But it hit. So the last stretch goal was train your steeds and familiars. So in addition to having the steeds, like the dogs and the familiars, you can interact with them, play fetch, perform actions, and raise an affinity meter with them. So they added that. That was a stretch goal.
Very cool.
I'm sorry, Pete, but I keep thinking that Coco's got just some little plot boiling, because her paw just keeps coming out like.
It's so slow. That's the funny thing.
Yeah.
If
I
this
keep waiting for it to be like
one
this
move,
and go.
Yeah, just waiting for it. But she never ever moves that fast either.
Your glasses go flying.
Neither do you, Pete.
There you go.
That reminds me. Did you see there's a horror movie like Killer Sloth or something like that?
No.
That it's like a sloth that's like murdering people. It's like the stupidest thing ever in the world.
It's a 6-hour movie.
Like I feel like horror movie
Director's
makers
cut
are
10.
just like run out of ideas at this point. The name of the movie is called Slaughterhouse.
Slaughterhouse.
That's awesome.
There's trailers for it. You could actually see trailers for it.
For when you're ready for a slow death.
It's like they've completely run out of ideas. Let's do the stupidest thing.
Tagline is "Wait for it." Yeah, that's one of my favorite movie. I don't like watching previews, but that was one of my favorite movie preview moments. Was sitting next to my daughter, watching the Zootopia preview, and that sloth scene came up, and I was like, I looked at her, and go, "That's us." I'm the fox, and she's the rabbit. We're just sitting there. I'm like, let's see how this plays out. So Barry, when I may have asked you, I may have asked before, but you're in this company, you guys, all y'all are like in this. It just seems amazing to me when we had you on last time, and then now even just when you guys started, were you guys even thinking that any day you might be doing an Atari cart or
I mean, when we first started, it was just kind of like, hey, we got approved for Switch. Let's see what happens, kind of deal.
Yeah.
If we do a game or two, that's cool. Let's go have fun with it. Let's just. We didn't know really anything. We were just researching it. We were just figuring it out. And we were very thankful for all of our partners, but especially our original, our first partners, because they took a chance on us. Here we are, a brand new company, and they took a chance with us, and we came out with Super Blood Hockey. We launched with a hockey game, and then we launched with a game compilation with Pigeon Dev. And then it was like, oh, hopefully people like these games. Like we put money into it, we have to hopefully find out. But of course
and
they didn't.
time. That's
And
a lot
time,
of
a lot of
that's
time, research, figuring,
yeah,
marketing and all that. So we had no idea where it was going to go. Like
yeah,
if it spat it out and we could say, hey, we released 2 games on the Switch, our Series 1, great. We're part of the library. But it
right.
didn't, and it just grew and it just kept growing. And the way our philosophy internally in terms of growing the company is pretty simple. It's a twofold thing, and it really just applies to 2 different groups. One, who are customers, take care of our customers, you know, take care of their needs,
Hmm.
assist them, help them out, show them kindness, and in return, hope that they share our stuff and come back and repeat and buy more games
Hmm.
and show their support and meet us at shows and everything.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't exist without gamers purchasing the games. And on the other fold, take care of our developers and our digital publishing partners, because without them we wouldn't have games. And
Right.
we we treat every contract that we have about a game not only as a contract for that game, but as a relationship with that partner, so
Mm.
that we want them to just be able to say, hey, here's our next game. I don't have to shop this around. I'm just going to come right to you. Let's work together. And we've seen that with multiple cases.
Yeah.
C.a.r.l was a prime example. When they were finishing up that game, Matt invited Drew over to his house and said, here's Robot Name Fight. Here's what they did for Robot Named Fight. What do you think? And Drew was like, that looks amazing. And
Mm.
they said, let's call them up right now. And we had a call with them and said, we want you to do C.a.r.l. And we're like, we want to do C.a.r.l. So it worked. It was
Perfect.
super easy for them. It was super easy for us. And that's how we want to go forward. And that's how we grow.
Took a lot of effort to get to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
And we try to
Payoff.
maintain those relationships.
Yeah.
yeah.
Payoff.
And I think one of the big things that really speaks to me about you guys is, and I know I've mentioned this before too, but it never shouldn't be said, is that unlike a lot of things these days, and I speak personally of entertainment, of movies mainly, and I bitch and moan about it all the time, but it's just that you guys, the way you do these things in your limited way, saying, look, we're going to do this many because it's a lot of work to do even one the way we would like to do it, but you approach them like fans,
Mhm.
and you're like,
Oh, yeah.
what would I like and what would I expect? And you put that all in for quite the value. You're
Yeah.
thinking about the fans.
We let our developing partners be as hands-on or as hands-off as they want to be.
Mm.
We say, here we open up a Trello board and we say, put any art assets you have so we can use them. And if you have ideas of what you want the box to look like or the manual look, tell us. When we write the stuff we write the manual, they get a chance to proof it and look at
Mm.
it and comment on it. And the same with the boxes and everything, because we want them to be happy and we want to make them happy. We want their game to have the dream version they want. So we do
There you
go
go.
above and beyond. And some people have complained, like, oh, why don't you just put a box? Why don't you just put the cartridge in a box and leave it like that? I don't want a slip cover. I don't need a manual, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know what? Then when you buy the game, take it out of the slip cover, take out the manual and just put it in the shelf that way.
Right.
Because we're old school. We march to the beat of our own drum. We're premium edition and we do it that way. And
Yeah.
that's just that. That's how the developers are super ecstatic about it. That's what they want.
Hmm.
And that's what we give them to them. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
we always give more. We always try and give more. And we don't penalize even the developers for that. Like, oh, your manual was 42 pages instead of like 30 pages, so it's going to cost us more to print. We don't penalize them. We say, hey, cool, we were able to make an awesome manual and bigger, and that we're going with it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we want to give each of these releases that we do the treatment they deserve, and have the developers get the
Mhm.
treatment they deserve.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
It's
awesome.
simple. It's simple. I don't understand why
Yeah.
other people aren't doing that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really like, take care of people, be
Yeah.
nice to each other.
Yeah.
You know, like Eldar. We had a quick question about something one time. This was before it was announced. I think it was mid February, And I said to him, I said, look, I can answer type, but I'm busy. Can I just quickly call you? He said, yeah. So he called, and I answered his question within 5 minutes, and we were on the call for an hour and a half, just shooting the shit, just
Yeah.
having out. And it was like, all right, look, I hate to get off now. I do got to get to bed. But it was just we were having a good time, and I'm like, that's what we do.
Yeah, there you
We
go.
just want
Yeah.
those relationships.
Well, see, Barry, you led me to the exactly the right segue spot for me to apologize for being late.
No, you're fine.
Because that's what happened. I did exactly that. Was me and Stuart Corden he's over in the UK, and we did an interview, and we were just having this great conversation. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go.
Yeah.
And, but I'm like, that's exactly it. And I love that, because that's what the whole synergy thing is about. When you get carried away and you're like,
Yep.
This is, without getting sappy about it, you're just like, this is a great relationship. This is how much we're really into the same thing. It's the reason the three of us are here with you right now.
Yeah.
We didn't know, me and Jeff have known each other for decades, but Pete's a new wonderful addition to our friendship. So it's like, and then now you guys, it's like, it's a great thing.
Don't forget the cat. She's getting upset.
Yeah, I can't forget Coco.
Well, as long as she's upset with you, Pete.
Yeah. She can't scratch us. We're safe.
That's right. That's right.
I'm just trying to create content here for the people. They want to see the cat go after you.
Exactly. Bloodbath.
Bloodbath.
Coco's bloodbath.
Coco's bloodbath.
I'm just looking up Slaughterhouse here, thinking, just released in August 2023. This is awesome.
Oh, really?
Oh, it did get released. I knew there was a trailer. So there you go. See, it exists.
All right.
It exists. They got a 4.6 out of 10 for an IMDb rating, which coincidentally, Slaughterhouse is a 4.6. Rise of Skywalker's a 6.4.
No.
Coincidence? I think not.
You got that tinfoil hat.
Huge question mark is really what that is. How the hell does that happen?
Yeah, who knows? But no, like with when I first talked with Elman Dean Todd from Godchard Chronicles, it took me 6 months of going back and forth to finally he finally was like, all right, let's have a call, because he was unsure and trying to figure out the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And we had a call. It was supposed to be a 30-minute call, and it turned into a 3-hour conversation. Like, we just hit it off. We were talking RPGs and talking all the things we could do, and how much we wanted to work together. And to this day, I feel like every day we still talk. Like, you message, hey, how about this, or we could do this, or how's the Kickstarter, or congratulations, and just keeping in constant communication, and it's awesome. And that's the key. It's just really just being friendly. Like, I feel like this world has just lost the ability to be friendly with other people. They focus too much on the wrong things, and they don't care. And it's like, just be friendly, just extend a hand. It's not about what do I get, or what can you do for me. It's just
about what we get.
Change it to how could I help you instead. It's not how can you do for me, what can I do for you. And if you're thinking what what can you do for me, then it works. It's the pay it forward kind of mentality.
There you go.
That's what we try and do with our developers. We take care of them. This industry is very small. Like, it's like most industries, and reputation is everything. And we have been told by multiple developers that if we approach them, or they were thinking about approaching us, they asked and inquired to previous partners we worked with, and they said, hey, you worked with them, how is it, what's it like? And I would say to them, well, what did they tell you? And they said, well, we're on this phone call right now, aren't we? I said, I guess that answers my question.
There you go.
But it's true, we've heard the same. It's if there's a developer that's a pain to work with, we've heard from other publishers, like, stay clear of this person or that person, because they are nothing but trouble. And it's it works both ways, whether it be a developer or a publisher. So we try our best to be friendly with everybody. We try our best to work with everybody. We have no beefs with anybody. We have no qualms. We appreciate everybody in this industry, whether we've worked with them or we haven't worked with them. And we just want to do our own thing in our own little corner of this industry and just have fun.
Absolutely.
You don't want to be a drama publisher, Barry?
Oh God, no. Not at all. Not at all. There's too much of that already. It's annoying. I want to be known as the fun publisher. That's why we even do the directs. I mean, I've seen some people say, well, this could have been a blog post, and it could have been. It's not fun. It's not fun to just do a blog post. We want to present the games. We want to give each game its spotlight, each section. We want to have fun. We want to talk about it. We want to show it off, get the developers involved. This is something we don't have to do. It's something we do because we want to do it. And the developers are appreciative of it. And a lot of the fans are appreciative of it. And it's just a fun thing we chose to do. There are plenty of people who don't watch and they just sign up to the mailing list because we put out a press release afterwards and we're like, here's all the games that were announced, and they're fine with that, and that's cool. That you do you, but that's why we do it we cater to both people, but we just want to have fun, and as an analyst myself and as a game lover myself, I really do not like these presentations where they just pull trailers at trailer. Here's another, and it's just like, what was the third trailer shown? I don't remember. Or what did you think of this game? Which one was that again? And you really have to think, because your brain has to get time to absorb, what you just saw. You have to have some break. And that's why we feel it's a disservice. I think it's disservice to any developer, and there's tons of different showcases. Even like when Nintendo does their directs and they do the sizzle reel at the end is one thing, and again, most people forget what's even in the sizzle reel. But like the headlines, they'll do the trailer, they'll pull back and they'll they'll give like a little teaser for what's next. They'll show that trailer, then they'll talk about it a bit, then pull back. I like that because it's quick, but at least gives every game some meat to it besides just the trailer. And we do the same. We try and focus.
There you go.
We try and do that. We try and talk about the game, let it linger a bit, show the additions, show the trailer, really let it sink in, so that when we talk about the next game, you're still like, wait, I'm still thinking about that other game. I haven't forgotten. And then of course with the recap at the end, we want to remind everybody, hey, here's what's there, because we think it's important. So that's why it's 52 minutes.
You lay out the different genres really well too, and explain exactly what, because not every game's going to be for every person, but we have that spread across. You talk about, this is, if you like this type of game, this is what you're going to like about this new game.
Exactly.
It's really well, so it can get as soon as you hear the similarities, then you get to watch it, so you can sort of look for what each individual likes, which is fun to go through the whole thing to see the 7 or 8 different things that you promoted. Knowing that, because realistically, not all 7 are going to be for me, or probably shouldn't be, but probably 3 or 4 of them are, and that you get to pick it up.
And that's it. Not every game's for everybody, but we want everybody to know, because we go slowly, every game gets our seal of approval. So even if there's a game that's not your genre and you're debating about that type of genre, you can put your faith that the version or the game that we're releasing is of quality, so that it could be a gateway into that genre for you.
Yeah. There you go.
Good call. Yep.
And we saw it, especially when we started with the challenge card. I got so many emails of Super Blood Hockey completion saying they don't like sports games, they don't like hockey, but they opened it to do the challenge card because they thought it was a neat idea, and now they can't stop playing the game, and they wanted to thank me for introducing them to their new favorite game. There you go.
I always like both of those.
To me, I thought that was so fantastic, of like when I get those type of emails, because now we've just introduced, and for a game like that with Lauren Lemke, now he gets a new fan and someone enjoying his game, and that's awesome. That's what we want to see. That's why we do the challenge. We don't have to do that. We mail the patches for free. We don't charge people shipping or anything. We just do it. And we do that so that the games get opened and played, and the developers can see people enjoying the games that they worked on so hard.
Yeah. And I like also what you were mentioning there. First off, we're sometimes, and Pete was alluding to it as well, when I don't think about all of the RPG. As soon as you say RPG, I'm like, because that's not the point for me. That's not the point in my life that I'm in.
Yeah.
I've got different things happening, but as soon as I retire, things are going to change a little bit. And I might have some time here and there where I can breathe a little bit to play some more of these games. And I've got games on the shelves. We talk about it all the time. Games on the shelves. I can't wait to get into some of those.
Well, see, that's where even like an RPG like Scarlet Tower is perfect for you because they're 30-minute runs.
Yes.
So it's like I don't have a lot of time. Okay, I do a 30-minute run here, and then maybe one more, and then you come back tomorrow, and it's like, all right, I'm stronger now. I'm gonna get farther. I'm gonna do more things.
Yeah.
You know, and it's great when you can access things like that. And Gordian Quest is all like level by level kind of deal. So it's very pick up and play and very Dungeons and Dragons. There's like, oh, you hear a woman in the forest and she's calling for help. Do you want to go check her, see what she wants, or do you want to ignore her? Or, oh, she laid a trap, roll to see if you get out of the trap. Which of your characters, based on their dexterity will escape the trap. Who do you want to use to roll and everything like that? So there's a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, old school stuff in there too, which is great. But again, it's one of those where you can play for 5-10 minutes and put it down, and then you come back. The story, while overarching, it's not like truly the meat and the potatoes of it. It's the gameplay is the meat and the potatoes. The story's there and it moves the characters along, but it's not like, oh, I've got a 3-hour cutscene I need to watch now, or I haven't played this game in a week. Where was I again? Where do I have to go? It tells you where to go and it shows you that stuff. So it's not. It's very casual friendly, especially on the easiest setting. But it's also like insanely in depth if you want to get there.
It's kind of funny when you were mentioning that that part of the game. I was talking with somebody much younger than me today, and we joke back and forth pretty heavily. And she's like, "Well, I'll just cut your hair." I was like, "Oh, you Delilah?" And she says, "Who?"
Oh no!
Wait a minute. I mean,
No.
I said Samson.
Samson, yeah.
No, you.
The locks.
Cut the hair thing. I don't know.
Over the head.
Modern day, man.
Yeah. If she'd have been a cone-headed, it's still gone over her head.
She probably wouldn't recognize that reference either.
Yeah, there you go.
Like what's a cone head?
Yeah.
Don't you mean
Jane Curtin and Dan Aykroyd? Who?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean that old guy in Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
Has anybody seen that yet?
No, I want to.
Yet.
My mom's watching it right now.
Oh, I saw a review of it yesterday. So
I like the last one.
Yeah,
I did too.
I'm gonna see it, but with a kid, it's hard to get to the theater. But I don't trust reviews. I know a lot of. I have my own taste. I like to make my own opinion.
Right.
I don't want to. When I like reviews after I've seen a movie.
Yeah.
Then I like to read reviews and watch reviews to see what different takes there are. I don't want a review to already change my bias of anything, even a game.
Yeah.
I want to go in blind and experience it blind and because a game they can say, oh, this is a 9 out of 10 game, and I'm like, I hate this game. Like, this game is not for me. And they could be like, this is a 4 out of 10 game, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I can't put this game down. I'm having a blast. So, and the same with movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the whole guilty pleasure exists for a reason, because it's like, oh, everyone hates this, but I love it.
That's Jeff.
Right.
Jeff and I went through that and Pete and I obviously go through that with Star Wars. But Jeff and I went through that with because I saw Uncharted, and I'm like, okay, I get how they've changed it up a little bit, but because I thought, well, wait a minute, these guys aren't right for those characters, and I'm like, wait, they must be doing it, as they start their relationship. So I can live with that. I'm cool with that. I'm all right. And I enjoyed the film. I had fun. I bought it. It was used, but I bought it. And I'm like, this is great. And then Jeff goes, yeah, And I was like, no, you're right. I get it. But,
I just thought it was funny the way they solve things. It took them like 30 seconds to solve a puzzle. Like,
I remember you saying about that.
And I was like, yeah, you're right. And how the hell did she get that cross out of his bag? I don't know. I'm like, you're right.
I like how you say you enjoyed it so that you bought it, but you bought it used, so you didn't even give the studio any money.
I know.
Excellent.
I didn't support them, but I bought it.
Somebody already supported them.
Yeah.
It's enough.
Stuart's
Well,
finally going to watch his copy of Rise of Skywalker, and the 6.4. It's not going to be. I'm sure he's going to give it a 9.2. So
It is gonna. What it's gonna take is Pete coming down to St. Louis from Canada. Is what it's gonna take, and bringing that freaking cat.
there you
yeah.
go. You want to go to St. Louis? What if I just
See-
said the cat?
Rise of Skywalker
Stuart and
wasn't even
Coco
the
can
worst
watch
of
the
the
movie together.
sequel trilogy, though.
I didn't think it was the worst one either. It was.
No, it was better than I expected. I'll say
Wait,
that.
which one?
Rise of the Skywalker was better than I expected
Okay, yeah.
because they had to fix all the shit that happened in Last Jedi,
Yeah.
and they did like I thought what they did with Leia was fantastic considering the situation of what they had to work with.
I don't know. To me, it's like
Jeff's like, I'm gone. I'm done.
I'm hungry, you dickhead. Here goes.
Gone.
Click. Yeah, no, for me it was like somebody who abuses you badly and then goes, no, but wait a minute, sit down and let's talk for a minute. I'll make you breakfast. And you're like, no, I'm the hell out of here.
You're
treated me
doing
like
the walk
shit.
of shame. You're like,
Treating me like shit. I'm out of here. I'm not eating your crappy eggs. No, we're not talking.
They definitely could have done things better with it for sure, but
Yeah,
I know Abrams should have done the whole trilogy.
Yep.
That was the biggest thing. When
Yep.
Rian Johnson came in for Last Jedi, he changed things up from what Abrams was doing, and then Abrams couldn't do the version he wanted to do because he had to go off of what Johnson did.
Yeah.
You know, if I was doing it, I would have done a ton of things, a ton of things differently. I would have changed the opening crawl. It was probably the worst opening crawl outside of the beginning of episode 3, War. Which
was it an opening cringe then?
It was kind of an opening cringe. Palpatine has returned somehow.
Yeah, you're like,
yeah.
Where I would definitely would have played into the cameos more. I would have had Luke be more of a prominent figure somehow. I'm glad they got Harrison Ford back. That was awesome. Like I said, what they did with Carrie Fisher, their hands were completely tied because she was dead and they couldn't do anything else. So what they did, I thought was very tasteful and it worked. So I have no problems with that. The whole fake out with Chewie dying thing was kind of like what? And at the end, when they had all the cameos in voice only, like, no, come on, get Force Ghosts out there. This whole series did Force Ghosts. Get them out there. Let Sam Jackson come back. Let Yoda come back. You had Yoda earlier on as a Force Ghost in episode 8, and you had Luke as a Force Ghost in episode 9. Get him back as a Force Ghost. Let's go. Let's have all these Force Ghost Jedi that actually fought against Palpatine back. Kit Fisto, get him back. Plo Koon, get him back. Give it that. This is your finale. Like, go big or go home. And it was like, well, you got the finale from Wish. That's what you got.
Yeah.
And it was like, I get it. You had some cool things like Wedge. Seeing Wedge was cool. You had the ghost there. If you blinked and you missed it, you put the ghost there. Let Hera get some spotlight. You had all those other ships. Like, they could have done more, and I think they were scared. And the sad thing is because the sequel trilogy does exist, they're now stuck to it. They're forced to use it and acknowledge it.
They're forced.
But to their credit, and this is to Dave Filoni's credit and Jon Favreau's credit, they're doing a wonderful job making them better with things like the Bad Batch and things like Clone Wars season 7, and with a lot of the shows where, like Mandalorian, where they're explaining a lot of that stuff. So the whole Palpatine comes back out of nowhere, they're explaining that. Like, I don't know if you watch the other stuff, but it's
Was it the
not just
Bad
out of
Batch
nowhere.
that explained that?
Yeah, Bad Batch explains that big
Yeah,
time.
because I didn't watch that one yet. That's my
Uh,
brother's always told me they gotta watch.
Oh,
He's
good.
watched everything, and
We
I
watched
have
everything.
not watched all the. I'll tell you, the Clone Wars themselves, the
Clone Wars is
cartoon was
great.
phenomenal. I thought,
Great.
but
But
I gotta.
Bad Batch has it's like it takes place like it starts right before Order 66. So you
Gotcha.
see Order 66 from their perspective because if you think about it and you watch just the movies, Order 66 happens and then you have A New Hope. What happened to Camino? What happened to the cloners? What happened to the clones? Where did
Yeah.
they all go in those 20 years? It goes back to Camino. It shows what happens to Camino and what happens to the cloners and what happens to the clones and the transition into a stormtrooper, and it shows Palpatine hiring scientists to perfect what the Caminos did with cloning because he foresaw I'm going to need a clone, and he's working on the cloning process. And if you
Gotcha.
watched Mandalorian, they were trying to get Grogu because Grogu was force sensitive and they wanted to use his blood to assist with the clones to make
Right.
a clone Palpatine be force sensitive. So it was all building and it was enhancing it. It was making the sequels better, not great, but better, and at least explaining that. And I can appreciate that in the same way that Clone Wars and Tales of the Jedi made the prequels that much better.
Yep.
Because you have all that supplementary stuff.
Yeah. Mandalorian just took a shit.
What? I liked Mandalorian.
The third
I didn't
season?
I liked it.
I
Oh,
liked it too.
wow.
We've
I
had
liked
the talk. I didn't like the Vegas, or was it Vegas? Or that one episode was kind of like corny, but
And they had the
it was good.
oh my god, Grogu doing that stupid jump over the kid was oh my god.
He's force sensitive.
He's okay.
He's not a baby though. He's many years old.
No, I know, but it just looked ridiculous.
Oh well, that's called budget.
And then they did the whole Great Escape screw up where the guys, what was it? The guys walked back and faster than the people in the ship when they were in trouble, and they ran away and came back to the Mandalorian beach. Why the frick are they living on the beach where there's this big thing that's going to come out and eat everybody? I don't.
Well,
it's just
they didn't know that was there. I don't know.
And then the whole switch of the it's just terrible.
I liked it.
So bad. I won't even touch Ahsoka. I won't touch the Acolyte.
Really?
Oh, Ahsoka was great.
Ahsoka was good.
Okay.
I liked Ahsoka.
I've seen enough of it that I'm like, oh yeah, no freaking way. Where they just wasted characters and wasted
who do they waste?
Your time with all the standing around and the okay, yeah.
They didn't waste a character in Ahsoka.
It took me a while to get to Andor. I watched the first couple episodes, and then I had a hard time going back to it. It just sort of faded away. Didn't get to it. But once I went back and watched it again, probably a good 6 or 8 months later, because again, my brother told me it's good. Get into it.
Well, that's what everybody was telling me. Yeah.
Oh my god, I got 3-4 episodes in, and Christy and I we watched every.
Andor is all politics, and it's great to see. It's like the birth of the rebellion, and you see Mon Mothma rise to power, and how that all comes to play. And I love that. Like I was mad that they cut a lot of the political scenes out of episode 3, where Padme and Bail Organa and Mon Mothma are all there with the other senators, and they're talking about forming a rebellion, and that's important stuff. Like Star Wars is a very political story, and like. I'm glad to see them acknowledge that and build on that, and of course that tackles into Andor takes place during Rebels, or right before Rebels, and then Andor season 2 is supposed to be like every episode's like a year, and that takes place at the same time as Rebels, leading into Rogue One and A New Hope. And I love that.
I mean, I've been told many times. Mandalorian was the same way. I was like, I don't care anymore. Because it all leads to nothing from me, because there's so much stuff that was just, in my view, watching it just was crap, especially Last Jedi. And then I didn't care. And they're like, you should watch this because it's really good. I'm like, I don't care. It's like, here's a bunch of crap. You eat this crap, and then we'll give you your pizza. I'm like, well, I don't want to eat crap.
I just want the pizza.
So I guess I don't get that pizza. So
did you watch Clone Wars? The
Yeah.
animated? Did you watch season 7, the newest, the extra season
No.
that they did for Disney Plus?
Because again, at this point, I just don't care anymore.
So, did you like episode 3, Revenge of the Sith?
Yeah, you know.
So,
those weren't my favorite films, but
the last 4 episodes of season 7 are a mini movie. It's a 4-part movie that takes place at the exact same time as Revenge of the Sith. And if you watch, and if you know Revenge of the Sith, and you watch those, it's incredible what they did and how they tie it together. Like, it starts with Ahsoka going to the ship that Obi-Wan and Anakin's on, and they're talking, and while they're talking, they get the distress signal that Palpatine has been kidnapped. So they have to leave, which is the start, because episode 3 starts mid-fight. It's them before they leave, and you see them leaving for that fight, while Ahsoka goes to Mandalore hunting Darth Maul. So you see the siege of Mandalore that happens at the same time as that movie, and you see what happens to Darth Maul and what happens to Ahsoka and Rex and everybody. And like a lot of the scenes in Revenge of the Sith where like they're talking in the council and like Anakin's talking to everybody, and then he goes away and Ahsoka comes in and it's the same scene exactly. And they're like, "Oh, you just missed Anakin. He's doing this," and she's like, "Oh," and she's giving reports and she's finding out about Grievous getting killed and everything. And it just works so well. And Order 66 happens. So you see what happens with Ahsoka in Order 66. How did she survive? And it's fascinating. And it's really interesting that they were able to piece these 4 episodes in between parts of the movie.
Yeah.
The movie Clone Wars fits in after season 6, but before the new season 7. Does that make sense?
No, the movie Clone Wars is right at the beginning.
So before the series.
Before the series, or like
Okay.
right near the series. Like they aired them kind of out of order. There's some episodes that are like earlier
I watched
on.
it in the wrong order then, because I've watched Clone Wars years ago and really didn't care for it. The movie, the cartoon,
Movie.
the animated movie. I didn't really like it that much back then, but the series has been fantastic.
Series is phenomenal.
But I want to go back and watch the movie again now, and then
So
pick up the
I
series.
cannot wait to ask this question then,
What?
because it was shit. But Obi-Wan then.
I liked Obi-Wan.
Okay.
I really liked Obi-Wan.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. I think we probably ought to wrap up.
I thought it was the scene. The only thing I wish that
come
that
on.
Obi-Wan
How
killed
did
Vader.
she run away from all of these soldiers in the beginning? How the hell does this
Because she
girl...
knows the environment.
Oh no, that's so wrong.
Try and chase a kid through a forest that you're not familiar with, and they are.
Yeah, but you're a soldier. You can adapt and know. And she ain't running that fast.
Doesn't matter. She used the environment. She's low. She ducks under.
Yeah, I can't buy it.
If you're in an area that you're unfamiliar with, you're not going to be as agile as in an area that you're comfortable with. It's the same with driving. If you were driving in an area that you're unfamiliar with, you're going to drive slower than your home street that you know by like the back of your hand.
I still can't
because
buy it.
you get lost easier.
And that 2 extra legs when he's got that big jacket and they're going across the whole thing, and she's what the frick is that? I'm like, there's just way too many
Stuart,
moments.
Stuart, with
and
your point of view,
wait a minute.
In 1977, you would have shot down that damn escape pod with the droids, and there wouldn't have been any other universe.
Wait a minute. What about that laser blockade that you could just walk around?
That was hilarious. That I agree. That part was hilarious. I absolutely agree with you on that.
To be showing, to have your camera angle showing desert, and him halfway across that laser, and then he shoots it or he hits it with the lights, whatever, and then it shuts it off. Now they can walk through. They couldn't have gone around on either side of that. I'm like,
that was probably just a camera mistake.
I'm just like, wow.
Sandworms couldn't go off the road.
I just, I don't know. It just was.
You should know that you shouldn't let little minor nitpicks stop you from enjoying yourself.
Well,
Don't let things ruin it for you.
Look past the little thing.
yeah, it just ruins it for me. It's like in the first one when in episode 1 when they land Amidala's ship lands, right? And those two guys come up front, and one guy talks and the other guy just came to get sandwiches. I don't know. He's just standing there. And as soon as they get done, the one guy gets done yapping with other guy, then they turn to walk off, and that guy goes like he's like looking over here the whole time, blah, 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 blah. And as he turns to leave, he goes, and then moves. I'm like, don't look at me. Don't look at me. You just ruined it.
You know, I never noticed that at all. It's never
looked right at the camera. I'm like, I'm not here, dude. Don't look at me. Go get a sandwich and get off the set. That's what you ought to do. Just go home. You screwed it up. You had nothing to say.
You let the smallest things bother your enjoyment.
Well, but, you know, but the big problem with that one was, didn't Lucas do that one?
Yeah, Lucas did that one.
Yeah, so it just was bad. He didn't direct her at all. She was terrible. And she obviously has proven what a great actress she is. She's phenomenal in other movies. Even in the 2 and 3, she was much better. But yeah, that was.
I mean,
anyway, that's me.
You let the small stuff, bother you. Don't
well, it's not so small. It's just a different way of. It's a different way of viewing.
Why can I see you watching a movie and like there happens to be an accidental clip where you see the boom mic and suddenly you're like, nope, this movie sucks. There's a boom mic in this one frame.
No, to be honest, I had other problems with that first episode, but seeing that then I'm like, oh, good God. Okay, I see. He couldn't even direct this guy who has no frickin' lines to not look at the camera. I don't know whose nephew that was, but get him the hell out of the mic.
Dear Stuart, may you find the power to simply enjoy it sometimes.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, just enjoy it.
No, really, I do. Because I don't catch a lot. I'm the same way, Barry, when I'm like, I love watching things after I've seen a movie. Well, and again, it goes back to Jeff going, Uncharted, wow. And I'm like, no, you're right. I get it. But
I couldn't believe it. So I saw 2 boom mics in Three's Company today in different episodes.
Yeah. Wow, no, I do like those Easter eggs. I like those sometimes. I'm watching. I'm like, oh, there's the shadow from the boom mic, or there's the boom mic. I get a kick out of that. The whole thing with the Untouchables, when you're watching the scene where Sean Connery's there to recruit, or no, he's there to recruit Sean Connery. And then his collar is open, it's closed. And then you go back to Costner, and then it goes back to him and it's closed. You go back to Costner, you come back, it's open. And then it's closed. And then it's open again. And people eating a bagel and in this part, and now they're eating a pancake, and you're like, no, that's funny. I don't have a problem with that.
If you watch The Sopranos, every time Tony goes to the therapist, the tissue box is always moving on the table.
See, I love those kind of things. Those are the things I watch. I'm like, oh, their hand was by their face. Now it's down in their lap. It's up at their face. So those things don't bother me. It's just those are compiled. Those things. And of course, the whole thing with the lightsaber going over the cliff. I'm done.
Lightsaber going over the cliff.
Yeah, when he threw the lightsaber away in Last Jedi.
Oh, Last Jedi. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
we were talking episode around. 1, and I'm like, wait, what?
I'm jumping around because I figure you're going to stick with me no matter what I say.
No, yeah.
You're like, I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's where Johnson literally took a crap on what Abrams was doing.
Yeah,
like he did that in the opening scene.
Yeah, if you're going to whip it out and piss on me right like that, no, just forget it. I'm done. Nobody's going to do that.
Yeah, I'm not that one guy, Ryan Johnson.
I'm here to watch a good movie, and that's not it.
He really did do the damage, in my opinion. I don't know.
He did.
Yeah.
Well, that and squeezing the teat on that whatever thing and drinking that green crap.
What about Leia Poppins in space?
That was baloney. That was such shit. If she had the Force, why did she ever get in that bad of a situation?
You
Why
know what?
was she this close to death before she used the Force?
That scene, that part of the scene doesn't bother me as much as the fact that Admiral Akbar was there and he died and they didn't even acknowledge it. They just unceremoniously killed Admiral Akbar. What the is that?
Yeah. Yeah,
It's a trap.
It's a literally it's a trap.
It's not Scottish. It's crap. So, yeah, those are the things. It's just when they do that, you know, and when they just destroy a planet and people are like, okay, well, whatever. So, next Tuesday, lunch, and you're like, whoa, a whole freaking planet just died. Did you catch that?
That's one thing, and it was in episode 7 where I had a problem because apparently there was a whole subplot with the representative going to the capital planet to request aid, and they dropped that entire plot. So all you saw of her was when the planet that most of us thought was Coruscant, and it wasn't. It was another planet. Gets vaporized, and you see the woman that they were supposed to follow look out and go, oh my god, and like, I don't even know who this person is. But if that plot was kept, it would be like, oh, I know this planet now, I actually care about this character.
There's some weight.
Yeah.
There was weight to it, and there wasn't. And I was like, did they just blow up Coruscant after that, like unceremoniously? And then of course I was like, no, that wasn't Coruscant. The New Republic changes capitals every once in a while. They let other. I'm like, that's great. Where is that explained?
Yeah,
that was never explained in the movie.
How do we know this?
I'm thinking it's Coruscant because why wouldn't it be Coruscant? It looked like Coruscant. Would make sense to be Coruscant. So like that was just like, come on, that should have been explained in the movie. I shouldn't have to see supplemental material. Supplementary material should enhance it. It shouldn't be required to enjoy something or to at least know that.
Welcome to the MCU. That's what that's all about.
Oh no, there is no MCU. I'm sorry. I like the MCU. There is no MCU.
Oh, it's terrible.
Well, you know what they did? They did change Scott Lang into a female. I liked how they put a wig on her. Sam Jackson had a higher voice when he talked. They totally made him a female too, or her. You know, I love that. Mark Ruffalo, when he came back in She-Hulk, he was a female. He had breasts. Total MCU. Every character is a female. There was not one male character in series phase 4 or 5 thus far. How could they do it with not a single male character? The MCU, my God. So the audacity of them.
It just was terrible. It's terrible stuff.
No, it's not. It's enjoyable.
Come on. Doctor Strange Mom. Doctor Strange Mom is horrid.
It's not horrid.
Okie dokie.
I enjoyed that. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm not telling you not to.
It's not.
I'm just telling you, it was a shit written film.
It was not a shit written film.
There were so she gets stung by a bee and sends her parents into another dimension. But then when Scarlet Witch grabs her by the hair, nothing happens. You're like, well, and then before that, Scarlet Witch, let's just call her Witchy Woman. Because most of the time people jump on me and they're like, well, we don't know about the lore, Stuart. You're all into the comic. Has nothing to do with it. Way to go. I love it, Jeff. And it has nothing to do with it. You just call it Witchy Woman and Magic Man and Dimension Girl. I don't give a crap who these people are. It's still a shit film. Why is a witch walking on glass and then limping everywhere? She's a witch. She can get rid of everything. She doesn't.
But that wasn't her body. She was possessing another Wanda.
I don't care. Why don't you fly? You can fly. Don't walk on it and limp. Fly.
Because in the multiverse, everyone is different. The you in another multiverse is not the same you. That's not the same skill. Like, I'm sure there's got to be another universe where there's a Barry that's good looking. Okay, so you know, if I was in his body, I wouldn't know what the hell to do. And if he was in my body, he'd probably kill himself.
Still, even if what's his name? His sidekick,
Wong.
She abducts him and takes him to that place, and he goes, "We don't go there because we can't do magic." And then they go do magic there. They're doing all kinds of crap and magic all over the place, and you're like, "Okay, so were you lying to me? Were you forgetting?
He could have been lying to her."
We can't do magic there. Okay, well, let's just go up there and do magic.
My only thing that I wish was we got to see the Illuminati more. That's all. I wanted to see Black Bolt do more. I wanted to see Mr. Fantastic do more.
Well, of course, because they wasted those characters. Wasted them. And
That
freaking
was it.
Captain Marvel, she was, wow, what a snotty chick she was.
Yeah, that's what happens when circumstances are different. People change.
It's just terrible.
That's like saying, let's take two people, person A and person B. Person A wins the lottery. Person A, now that they have all this money, maybe they change, while person B is more humble, doesn't change much because they don't have that money. And you say, well, that's what happens. But now in another universe, person B wins the lottery, and you see person B after he wins the lottery, now they're suddenly arrogant and an asshole, and go, wait a second, that's not like person B in the other universe. Well, yeah, because person B in the other universe are poor. They don't have billions of dollars or whatever. Things change, circumstances change. That version of Captain Marvel is different than the Monica we saw in or Maria that we saw in
And
in Captain Marvel, because she was the one that got the power. So, and that was in the 80s or the 90s. That was in the 90s. So it's been 3 decades of her with that power. She probably got arrogant. She probably, experienced things and she was changed by it. We never saw that aspect of it. So that has to be a change. Even like Iron Man went through that type of change too.
Yeah.
Iron Man in Iron Man 3 was very different than in Iron Man 1.
Well, yeah, I don't know how the hell he got to the harbor before those suits would have gotten there. That was weird.
I was talking like the PTSD of dealing the fallout of Avengers and all that stuff.
Yeah. No, I get that, but I'm still Iron Man 3. I'm like, how'd the suits not get here first? How did you wait? I mean, shouldn't they already be here by now? Because they fly really fast. It's
takes time.
It's the great escape moment, where how does Steve McQueen get to the front line before an airplane with 2 guys in it?
The plot demands it.
Yeah, it's in the script. That's how. Because we can. Because we can. Well, and then, here he is, Reed Richards, Captain Illuminati, steps in front of Black Bolt and tells her exactly how to kill him. And then I don't know how his skull breaks out before his mouth breaks open.
I know
his skin.
His mouth,
this is bone. How's
his
that?
Mouth, his mouth went first. I thought.
No, it was he go because his mouth was closed, but of course the skin is.
Oh no! A Black Bolt. I'm thinking Mr. Fantastic.
And then she spaghetti westerned Reed Richards.
Yeah.
So anyway, the beauty of it is you get to watch something you love, and I don't have to waste my time watching things I don't like.
Exactly. So did you watch Echo?
No.
Oh, you missed Echo. Was really good.
Yeah.
A lot of people liked Echo.
Absolutely, and they can.
Kingpin was violent as hell. Like, killing the ice cream guy on the dumpster. Was violent as hell.
Yeah, I just I can't do it anymore.
I'm
so done.
Then
especially after what they do with Shang-Chi, that was just terrible. So,
well, he's coming back.
I'm sorry to hear that because I won't be there. I'm like, it had nothing to do with that. Was not Shang-Chi.
That's an adaptations that
it
happens.
But the problem is don't use it. If I've been reading it since issue number 31 and then beyond, then you say, oh, we have a Shang-Chi movie. And then I go and I'm like, this isn't Shang-Chi.
Did you like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man?
It's our version of Shang-Chi. Well, that's cute and all. I get it. You bought it. You own it. You do whatever you want. But don't expect me to come back anymore because you're just baiting me by using the name.
Did you enjoy did you enjoy the original Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man?
Yeah.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
As a comic reader, what about the fact that his webs are organic? He's supposed to be a scientist. He's supposed to build the web shooters. It was just coming out of his wrist.
That doesn't have anything to do with the whether it's a good movie or not. They may have changed that aspect of it, but the movie was good.
The movie was good, yeah, but they still changed that aspect. So this is
that's an aspect, though. See, the movie was good. See, in the other movies, that stuff is
Shang-Chi was a great movie. What are you talking about? It was a kung fu action movie. It was great.
No, Shang-Chi is your favorite Bruce Lee movie with your favorite James Bond movie,
which was a kung fu action movie, like I just said.
No, you don't have him running around with some smarty mouth girl, and there's dragons, and there's none of that. It's espionage. It's MI6 meets Bruce Lee. It's Enter the Dragon.
It's an adaptation.
Exactly, and that's my point. But it's not even the same.
I mean, so much of the MCU is little adaptations.
No,
because they
Captain
didn't have
America,
rights to
they're
characters.
on with what happened to Captain America. Iron Man, that's on. Hulk, that's on.
They were still adapted things differently. They weren't exact, especially when they didn't have rights to certain characters.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't expect them to use Fu Manchu, but because they don't have the rights to it, so they can't do that. But to just take him all the way out, I mean, to not even have Clive Reston, Nayland Smith, Blackjack Tar, Liko Wu. I mean, that was the whole thing. It was cool espionage, awesome stuff. I mean, they could have just taken issues 29 through 36 and done bitchin' movies for the next 15 years of Shang-Chi.
They probably could have, but they wanted to do something different.
And that's all I'm saying. It's
like
just,
the rings,
they
the
bought
10
it.
rings, obviously, instead of rings, they were like bracelets. That was a big change. So it's a universe.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. The rich kid bought the toys and they can play with them however they want, but I won't. I don't have to play with them. I don't have to watch them do it. So that's all that it comes down to is you guys dig it. You'll watch it. I won't.
So you're not going to watch Secret Invasion or Deadpool 3 or anything like that?
Deadpool I'd get close with Deadpool because Christine wants to watch it, and I love the first two films.
What do you think about them turning Wade into Wanda? They turned Wade into a girl because it's the MCU.
Yeah, I don't know.
They did it with Hugh Jackman too. He's got stilettos and he's got braids in his hair and he does song and dance. And they felt that the claws were too dangerous, so they're chopsticks now.
Interesting. I don't know anything about any of that.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like they put breast on Wolverine now. There's one scene where Wanda sucks on his tits.
What do you mean? What is that? What are you talking about?
I'm making fun of the MCU because none of that's real. Everything I'm saying is bullshit right now. None of that's real.
I think you might have been watching the China edition of She-Hulk.
None of that is real. They didn't do anything. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't. That's as close as I get because that's because that one. That's the reason I saw the Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but I still didn't like it.
You didn't like that?
No, because but that one is only because I watch films differently than other people because of my job.
I thought it was great.
Did you watch the Christmas special, the holiday special?
Oh, that was true shit. That was garbage.
You didn't like it with Kevin Bacon? I loved it.
No, I don't. I watch things like that. I watch differently than other people do, and so I don't. Again, you like what you like. I don't like it. And I see it and I'm watching it with a certain view and other people won't see it with that view, So that's the other thing too, that we don't take into account is that people do different things for work or they experience things differently. So when those certain things in a movie, you see certain things, you're like, oh my God, okay, I just can't. And that's the way it was with that Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And there was just stupid moments in it where you're just like, oh, for crying out loud. And that's what I felt about the holiday special. I watched it. I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And I hated it. It was just things happening in it that I'm like, oh my God. Okay. People really do this. It's the reason I don't like Christmas Vacation. Because I'm like, if this person is really like this, why are you inviting them to your freaking house?
You can't with your family.
That to me just says, no.
Shitter's full.
So,
Stu and I can go back and forth. We can do this more often, Pete, if you like. Pete's loving this.
The great part about it is again, it's just a conversation.
Oh yeah, of course.
Whatever you like, there's so many millions of things we can talk about, but
Oh yeah.
know,
Well, it's also like you said, it's different based on like your work and if you
Right.
overanalyze. Like a lot of TV shows, as a writer, I see things like it's hard for me to be surprised because I see where they're going with it.
Mhm,
I'm like,
mhm,
this is going to happen. Like it's predictable, and very rarely when it's not, I'm very excited. I'm like, oh, I was surprised by that.
mhm.
That's also like if you had to play a game for review versus you spent your money to buy it because you
Right.
were excited. Playing it for review is very different than playing it for enjoyment.
Very good point.
And
Very good
it's the
point.
same with anything.
Yeah, like
Doing
free preview movies. Like,
Yeah.
ooh, I got a free ticket. That was a great movie. And you're like, really? Okay. Because I paid to see it and wow. No.
I look at it as if I enjoy myself and I have a good time, that's all I give a crap about.
Right.
Yep.
Like if I'm
Right.
playing a game and I'm having a good time and I'm smiling, I don't
Mhm.
care if you say it's the worst game in the world and it should be burned in a fire. I had a good time. Screw you. I had fun. Same with the movie, same with the TV show.
Right.
At the
Yeah.
end of the day, we have 24 hours every single day, except
Yeah.
for 26 or 23 on
Yeah.
those, or 25, 23. But you
Yeah.
choose how to spend your time, and if you're not
Mhm.
enjoying yourself, you should do something else, and if you are,
Correct.
you
Right.
should keep doing it.
Right.
And we all have different tastes and we all have different things we enjoy, and that's the end of the day.
Right. Yeah. It's like when I was playing Rocket League the other night and somebody goes, people still play Rocket League? I'm like, yeah, I got
Yeah.
into it late and I have a lot of fun doing it. So,
Then that's all that matters.
and that's what matters. So
Even if
yeah.
you're playing solo and no one else is playing anymore, who gives a crap?
Right.
It's like retro games. You said you have all these games you haven't had time to touch.
Yeah.
So if you say, well, I'm finally playing this game, and it's like, well, that's like 10 years ago. Why are you playing that? We've
Yeah.
all beaten it. You haven't. It's new to you.
Exactly.
Right.
That's why I look at people when I talk about movies. I go, you haven't seen that movie? Instead of going, wow, I can't believe you haven't seen that movie. I just go, hey, I'm really excited for you. You get to still see this movie. You've never seen Escape from New York? Oh my God. You
Oh,
have a,
That's
wait
why
till
I'm
you
so
see it.
excited for you that you're going to get to see Rise of Skywalker.
Well, that's
You've never seen it.
that's different.
Oh, oh,
That's my last. That's it. So
so I'm excited for you to see. I love how Pete's just changing his.
it always looks like I'm flipping people off. I'm going like this.
I thought you were flipping off.
That's what I thought when he put it up the first time on some other show like a long time ago.
that would be very nice to put up there. Who would ever
No,
flip anybody off?
although
Now?
he's got
Stuart
one
would
like
never
that.
do that.
Yeah, see, we leave that for Pete.
The Rise of Skywalker jumped the shark. No, I think Last Jedi jumped the shark.
Oh,
I agree with that.
Jedi.
So that's where it went wrong, and it was just a scramble. And I think it just ended up being a mess from there.
Last
You know,
Jedi.
It is what it is. I love it. That's all I got.
Here's
Last
the truth.
Jedi killed the shark and threw it over the cliff.
Here's the truth, though. It didn't matter how 7, 8, and 9 turned out. Didn't matter. They could have been masterpiece movies. People would still complain and hate them, especially Star Wars fans. Star Wars fans hate their fandom more than anything else. Didn't matter.
I just have one last question as we leave. You can ponder this until the next time, Barry. Why don't lightsabers kill anybody anymore? Go on, discuss, and then we'll leave. We'll leave. You guys can think.
They still do.
He shoved the one right into Han Solo. He went over the edge and died. He was dead, fell off the edge. And then in Ahsoka, and then she's like, oh no, I'm okay. And you're like, whatever.
Missed vital organs. Different spot.
I don't know.
Plus, you also have to remember lightsabers do cauterize. Like slicing is obviously gonna. But even Darth Maul survived. But if a lightsaber does cauterize the wound, because it's just like if you took a hot blade, it does that. That's why Luke Skywalker wasn't bleeding out of his hands.
Well, and it's the reason that the architect at Mos Eisley was in the bar was sliced his arm off, and there was no blood.
Yeah.
Right. I love that. I'm a big Robot Chicken fan of that stuff. Yeah. When he goes, they're architects, and he's like, let's go over for lunch. And then he starts some bullshit with the guy at the bar. Hey, and he doesn't understand him. And he starts some crap and he slices his arm. And then he gets fired because he can't draw anymore. It was horrible. Oh shoot. Anyway, see, we end with a laugh. That's good. I like it.
That's the best part.
That's it. That's all. Why didn't they just put Ted McGinley in there?
Yeah, there you go.
That would have
About
been
it.
perfect. All right, guys. Thank you, Barry. Thank you very much for
Yeah, thanks, Barry.
Of
not
course.
only being here but putting up with my bullshit. And I apologize to Jeff and Pete.
It'd be mostly that, Barry.
Most precisely that.
Well, maybe apologize to Jeff, but I think Pete was enjoying himself a lot.
I do
Jeff was just
apologize.
sitting here like I'm dealing with children right now.
But there's nothing I love more than Star Wars talk.
I was just being entertained.
All right, Barry, we will let you go. Thanks everyone for watching.
Thank you, everybody.
I'll see you.
Bye.
Bye.